Hey everybody, and welcome this week to Bendy and the Ink Machine. So this game is a mascot horror game, and it's kind of one of the ones that define the genre a little bit. Like I'm thinking like Five Nights at Freddy's, Poppy's Playtime, and then like Bendy and the Ink Machine is like some early starters. Now I'm sure there's probably one that you could throw into the comments that I just happened to forget, but yeah, in terms of like early starters, this was one of the ones that kind of defined the genre a little bit. It plays a little bit. Well, starting off, it plays like a pretty traditional, like walking around survival horror, but then it eventually sort of evolves into almost like a very heavily Bioshock inspired game. We'll talk about that a little bit as I get closer to it. This is a full playthrough. There's like 5 or 6 cutscenes in this game across the different chapters, usually towards the later chapters where I'll be quiet for those cutscenes. I was asked about a year ago whenever I played a mascot horror game last, if I was selling out, and if that means playing whatever games I want to, whenever I want to, then yes, I'm selling out to myself. So anyway, I'm going to begin here, starting off with a new save, new game, new chapter 1, just starting. This is all anew. So dear Henry, it seems like a lifetime since we worked on cartoons together. 30 years really slips away, doesn't it? If you're back in town, come visit the old workshop. There's something I need to show you. Your best pal, Joey Drew. So, of course, again, people who have played this game before or have seen somebody play it by chance clearly are going to know this game and kind of what it's all about and stuff. Chapter 1, Moving Pictures. So, we have come to the old studio where we used to work years and years ago, 30 years ago. I'm trying to think. So, our character that we're playing as is probably at least about 48 years old. I do like how it pops the objectives in the bottom left. So, we're discovering Joey's secret. And so, like, let's say, oh my god, I missed it. I'm going to hit start. Discover Joey's secret. Tip, search the workshop. I think I can turn this off here. Yeah, I did open this game up and like just start it to make sure that it ran all right, and then 2 that the graphic settings were like where I wanted them to be, and I'm glad that I did because I really don't like things like motion blur and stuff. So this game is kind of tempered a little bit to my expectations and stuff, at least as far as like looks and shit. There's a grate down, and we're working our way to the ink machine. I believe that's the workshop it's talking about. Watch your step, and that teaches you how to jump. Wow. Very intuitive gaming. All right, and it's telling us that it's looking this lift could use a few dry cells, and we'll have to look for those. Thankfully, at least here, everything that we need is very close by. There are 2 dry cells, whatever that means. Put them over here, and then we can flip the switch, and we can see the like plot device for this game. The titular ink machine should be rising here in just a minute. Looks rather imposing, doesn't it? Wow. I don't know. The ink machine used to look goofy. I played this game years ago whenever it was in alpha and then beta. And, okay, turn on the ink machine, locate the power station, sure. Sir, yes, sir. So I played this game years ago. Don't worry, we're going to be exploring everywhere. I just kind of have somewhere mapped out in my mind first. In alpha and beta, and they're like different looks for different things that I've liked over the years. But I'll say like the one thing that I'm 100% glad that they did was change the look of the ink machine. And we're going to be able to see that different look, whenever we unlock the museum at the end of the game. So we have to fix the ink machine. We can't pull the handle down. We have to instead go find these different items here. So like an inkwell, like a music note of some kind of like a little plushy doll. I guess we might as well look at them all. A book of some sort, a wrench, and a gear. Sorry. Starting off a little bit hard and heavy here. Oh, there is somebody has moved this clearly to spook us. If we walk over this way, we can see a character with like their rib cage kind of splayed open. Joey, of course, as was already mentioned, was like a guy that we had worked with years ago. Who's laughing now? Certainly not whoever that guy is with his chest splayed wide open. What was I saying? So we've got 1 out of 6 of the items. The wrench, that's an easy one, of course. Some of these doors, like you wouldn't even expect you can open. You might notice that I can pick these up, the bacon soups. Here in the first chapter anyway, those aren't going to do anything for us, but you can collect them if you want. There might be like an achievement related to like consuming all of them in the first area. So I said this game's sort of like Bioshock a little bit. You can see these are like the voxophone recordings a little bit. This is like, your internal kind of lore of the game, sort of. Let's see, donate something from our workstation. So he's talking about like how weird it is to fire this machine up. Everybody had to donate something from their workstation in order to make this machine fire up. So it's almost like to like get the machine to work again, everybody would have to contribute whatever the item was that they had initially contributed to make it so that the machine could fire up at all. And somebody, case in point, had the wrench. Somebody had the plushie we just picked up. We can't interact with this valve just yet. So like I said, first chapter is a little bit on the downswing of things, and then it just is like up and up and up from there. So that's exciting enough, at least. I think chapter 3 is a little bit of a lull because it's a little long in my opinion. But I don't know. The game as a whole is pretty good. Like I said before, I only play the good games on this channel, and this is no exception. I guess we could go get the I'm going to go get the gear before I go down there. I just kind of want to visit places as few a times as possible. Like, not in terms of, like, I need to be playing this game fast, but I don't want to be backtracking, of course. So, I said we would go down here to wherever this downstairs area is. Lots of Bendy cutouts. Also, I haven't really mentioned it yet, but clearly this is inspired by, like, the old Mickey Mouse cartoons and old Disney, old... Wow, what's the other one? There's like Disney and Warner Brothers shit. Here is the book that we need. This is The Illusion of Living by Joey Drew. That's a reference to a real life book by, I don't know if it was by Walt Disney or if it was just Disney published, but it details, god damn it, I knew it had some heavy fucking drop, but alright, and then the third one, I don't know, I just thought this was such a cool addition. I don't know, it's some kind of book that Disney put out years ago that was like The Illusion of Reality or something like that, and it was some kind of a book about like how to animate, but that book was like, I think that book first came out in like the 60s or 70s, by our time, so hell, that's almost like 60 years ago. I do think it had a more modern printing, and I'm sure you can get it at any time you really want. So the light was on here, and now it's off. He will set us free, if you say so. Oh, and we could turn the music on. Nice. And we'll pick up a record. So we're now at 3 out of 6 items. It's kind of cool if I hit start again. You'll notice that some of those are lit up and some of them are not. 5 out of 6 of them are currently lit up. I'm actually... Oh, it's an inkwell is the last thing I don't have just yet. What else was I thinking here? We're going to have to backtrack to this area, kind of non-negotiably. I am glad I turned off the projector. I don't know what it is about this game, but like certain aspects of it, like give me a big headache now. Here is our old desk where we drew and, animated these cartoons and stuff. I've always been a guy who, like, I have no idea how they do animation. I could probably watch it like old school animation. I mean, like the old Disney cartoons and stuff. I have literally no clue how they could have done it. Like, it blows my fucking mind that anybody could animate anything ever. Like, that would seem like animated movie by me is like a Herculean effort by like all of humanity to like build like 2.5 hour long movie and it just be like knockout. And then that's like, wow, I can't believe humanity ever did that. But of course, like there are like small time like YouTubers who do it. Like we'll put out like, 2-hour animations like twice a year or something like that. Now, I'm not talking about no high quality joint. I'm not talking about anything that you might even enjoy, but just some basic like animations. The only one I can think of right now is actually he's a mass shooter, so I don't want to address him. But there are people out there who do it. Anyway, we can fire up the ink machine here. It's kind of cool. You put the objects on the little pillars that they're on, and then it lights up near them. I'm not like impressed by this necessarily, but I do think it's pretty. I don't know that this used to have like a lighting effect to it or whatever, but I don't know. I think it looks good. So I think we have to locate that pressure valve. And if you happen to remember, if you happen not to, the pressure... Oh, hey, the Bendy cutout is gone again. If you happen to remember, if you happen not to remember, it was down a hallway where we picked up the Bendy plush. I'm not really a guy who's like super fascinated with this game. Honestly, I'm not really that impressed by the story, but I am impressed with the fact that like just some dude, like I think it was 2 dudes that initially started this game in their little production studio. Hey, look at it. We got our little Bendy a bopping. like I said, I'm not super as impressed as maybe other people are. Oh, and I turned the valve, and this whole area has started to goop, full of ink around here now. Anyway, so that is considered on, and don't worry, I don't think I'm gonna like intentionally like miss anything. Like there's just no more animation back there to see. Like the ink well doesn't like suddenly start to like fill up or anything like that. So I think now we have to go back and flip this switch again, if I'm not mistaken. Now that we actually have pressure and we have the switch activated and everything. So we flip this, turns the light on, and then it actually turns the lights off. Like you know, in other places where it's like dimmer now. I believe, I can't remember if it's already. Yeah, it is already. So this room is now like really dark. And since we flipped that switch, we can go through this hole in the wall and see a secret. This is one of the creators of the game called The Meatly. There are 5 of those hidden across the game, 1 in every chapter of the game. I'm not even going to be showing off any of the other ones besides that one. I just kind of wanted to show off that there is in fact that there is in fact secret elements to this game. I am going to be showing off the Chicago typewriter, like the Tommy gun Easter egg. I don't know if I'm going to show off anything else. Okay, so we're going to get a jump scare here, where we get grabbed by this monster. It's actually really funny because I really like the alpha model for Bendy, and I can show it off in the museum at the end of this game, but for now we're just kind of running back towards the exit. You know, Joey sent us like a message, or sent us some mail that was like, hey, you should like come visit the studio, and we come back here and we immediately fire up the machine, and we immediately are like hunted by monsters. So thanks a lot, Joey, you dickhead. Here's another one of the like messages, like the Vox phone recordings. I don't think this is really important. Something about repair jobs for Mr. Joey Drew. This one's not important for us. I'll activate them just in case anybody happens to want to read them, like to pause the video and read them. Otherwise, I'll just be using them for like their puzzle functions, or if there's something I can immediately glean from them. Like, you know, here's a note about a woman who wanted to be a voice actress, and she met Joey Drew, and all her dreams came true, and they had a happy ever after, forever and ever and ever, amen. So we're just going down level by level and twisting these valves. I've thought about this sometimes, and I've thought about this in different games. Could you imagine like working on this floor and then all of a sudden like so much ink goes up it just is way over your head and almost drowns you? Oh man, what a nightmare. The creator lied to us. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but sucks to suck. So we've got our first weapon of the game. It is well, it's not the best weapon of the game. There's a secret weapon that's the best weapon of the game, but you only get to use that weapon temporarily. So we're going to have to stick with the axe for now. Alright, so we can use it to cut boards out of our way that are directly in front of us. Here is where we're going to get some flashing, and I believe that's the end of the first chapter already. We have like a little blackout, and then we eventually come to, and it should flash and tell us that that is the end of chapter 1, and we're moving into chapter 2 here in just a second. So I know that the old song. So I know the first chapter was like really short. Second chapter is going to be a little longer. The third chapter is probably going to be like close to the longest chapter. Fourth chapter is another long chapter. I don't know. I would consider like 5 probably like a medium size. Alright, so our axe is still here, thankfully. As I had already mentioned, it's a very powerful tool for us. Continuing on, find a new exit. Tip and axe may come in handy. I always appreciated the fact that this game like had little tips to it too. Like I said, I played this game in like alpha, beta, so I'm glad that despite all that time, like the developers still are thinking of the new players who might play their game. As we continue on forward here, we'll see a character kind of walk past us up ahead. He doesn't like grab us or jump out at us or anything. He's carrying a Bendy cutout, and if we look to the left here, he has just disappeared almost into like this pentagram circle looking thing. We cut Bendy out of the way, and alright, so this is like our first little semi-ish puzzle, I guess. It's similar to like the finding the like items. All we have to do is like find these switches. This is probably the hardest switch to find. That's the first of 3 of them, and then we just travel back to where we just were. It's a little bit of backtracking here, but it's really not so bad. I also can't remember if maybe we get to run into that other character who we just seen, Sammy. I can't remember if we run into him this early or not. You might have noticed like some of these power junction cable boxes, and that is where we flip the switches for the like lever that we have to hit to raise this gate. Now we travel back through the goop again. Like I said, it's a little bit of back and forthy, but it's not so bad. I remember back in the day, like excitedly kind of waiting for new chapters to come out. You can see Bendy is like rebuilt. There we go. I'll just destroy that again. Excitedly like watching for like new chapters to come out, but I really wasn't somebody who was like obsessed with this game or anything. I really, like I said, I don't even like the story. I just kind of like, I don't know. I just kind of watch it passively. I will tell you some things that sort of impress or like, I don't know, give me food for thought about this game. So we're meant to go this way, but we can't go down because there's like standing ink. So we pull this down and it lights up the like lights around here, and it therefore powers things. This is our first enemy. It's a very, very, very common enemy. I don't know what they're called, like crawlers or searchers or something like that. With the axe anyway, it's a one swing, one hit, one kill. Now, granted, they get some immunity whenever they first spawn in, so I have like a high chance of missing and stuff. But no, what I wanted to say was, oh hey, yes, this is like a little bonus room. There's nothing in here to see, but there is a pool table, which does have like pool mechanics. I'm sure that there's an achievement for knocking all the balls in the holes. This game, like, it had books that eventually hit Scholastic, which is like something that's always kind of blown my mind a little bit. This is a hint about a puzzle that we're going to have to mess with here shortly, about like how we have to flip this on and then run down there and do a puzzle, but we don't have all the pieces for the puzzle yet. It also gets randomly generated, I believe, each time that you like fire up the game, so you can't go down there and like, I guess you could probably sequence break because the password could only be so many things, but and then we'll just walk into the recording studio and take a look in there. But no, like Scholastic, like American viewers will know this probably anyway. I don't think it's like an international thing, but like there's like books that get kind of peddled to children a little bit. I wouldn't consider it like a money-making kind of joint. Like, it's not like exploiting children, but it's like generally in most schools across America that at some point they'll run into like Scholastic, or like you'll see them even at a local book store. And the creators of this game were able to get a book into the Scholastic. And we're talking like Captain Underpants books. We're talking Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Those are like the kind of books you would see out of Scholastic, front a little bit. Because I know sometimes they have Scholastic book fairs, and then other times they have like just where you can buy Scholastic books in bookstores, as I've already mentioned. This here is a tape recorder that says about how we're looking for keys, and he thinks he must have dropped them in a trash can. So after we flip that, we have to go through all the areas we've explored and check the trash cans. It gets randomly spawned in one of those. I don't know. Pokemon also had like a lot of books in the Scholastic. I keep wanting to call it the book fair, but like under the Scholastic publishing label. I guess it's a publisher, right? I don't know. But I was looking at like, because where do you glean the story of this game? Like, so far, like you can get an idea of like what's going on in the immediate area by like these, recordings and stuff. Like, Joey hired me to sing and say, I'm going to sing my little heart out or something like that. Like, that's not that hard to glean from like nearby recordings. But the thing that always kind of got me about this game is like, I never understood the overarching story, and it confused the shit out of me. And I didn't know how you were supposed to like pull the story from what you're able to see in game. And apparently there's like several games now and like several books. So I mean, I guess that's how you do it. So we've got a set of keys now, and I think we have to travel back to, there was a locked door near where there was the ink spilling out of that pipe near where we saw this little like tape recorder or whatever. Shouldn't keep referencing them as voxophones. I'm thinking, of course, of Bioshock. So this is where we get our answer for a puzzle. This is the like where we can see the order of the instruments we need to play. It's drums, piano, drums, banjo. All right, which you can see by Sammy Lawrence. So drums, piano, drums, banjo. Drums, piano, drums, banjo. Okay, that's I got a feeling I might fuck it up still, but we'll see. Drums, piano, drums, banjo. I know it's annoying. I'll try my best to keep the repetition in my head, but you know, drums, piano, drums, banjo. Okay, whew. All right, let's go try this one on for size. So we have different instruments that we can interact with in this room. We've got drums. Oh god, I hope that was an interaction. Drums, piano, and then we go back, drums, and then you can see we have the banjo there. Drums, and then banjo. And then that should be it. Yes, sir. All right, you can interact with, like, there's also like I think this is like a violin, and then this is a bass violin over here. I always liked, like, I'm not like a jazz guy, but every once in a while, whenever jazz comes on, I'd say my favorite instrument's easily like the big bass. I think this game calls it a violin. I'm not sure. I guess it's probably right. Sing a happy song, whistle a merry tune, wait for his arrival, he's coming very soon. Shut up. Alright, so we have the first of these done. This can end up being a soft jump scare a little bit here, where all these enemies suddenly spawn in. I know it scared me the first time that I ever, like, played this chapter. More recently, though, I was like, isn't there supposed to be enemies in here? And then all of a sudden they were in there, and it did spook me a little bit, I guess, admittedly, but, years ago, I was in a Discord, and I can't remember like what business I had there or whatever, because I try and keep the number of Discords I'm in and stuff kind of lower, because I don't know, I just don't want to be in an area that's like, or I don't want to like be in a ton of Discords where I can't interact is like, you know, like meaningfully, you know what I'm saying? So, I was in there's like a switch that we have to hit there, and we're looking for a valve. But anyway, I was in one with like a group of people, and I think it was just like internet friends from some website forum I use. And down here we're all sinners. They had posted and were like, hey, does anybody own Bendy in the Dark Revival? There's one of those creatures holding a valve. The sheep will come to slaughter. But anyway, somebody was like, does anybody own or not own Bendy in the Dark Revival? And I was like, I haven't even heard of that game. Like, I know what Bendy and the Ink Machine is, but I thought the Dark Revival was like a remake of that, a remake of the original game. And I was like, no, I don't even own that. And he messaged me, and it was a Steam key, and I was like, what the fuck? And he was like, well, somebody sent me like 10 of these Steam keys for free, and I obviously can't claim it. So, and he's like, and I'm not really in the mood to like try and sell these. He's like, so here you go. So I actually own Bendy in the Dark Revival for free. We have to lift this like, platform up and then scare this character into going underneath of it. Nice. And then we hit the down lever here. All right, come on, the down lever here. And then it crushes him, fortunately, and we can lift it back up. Like I said, I'm only really going to address the like recordings that really have anything to say about like the area we're in specifically. It is kind of crazy though, this tape recording that we had just seen here. This guy was talking about how he wanted some peace and quiet away from like all the music to write lyrics, because this was the lyricist. And it's great. Look at where he's at to write this. You're gonna have to wade through like fucking like 5-6 inches of ink every day to get to your office. And then like if anybody needs to come down here, you'll come to learn in terms of the story that the ink is greatly exaggerated. So, you know, I'm not wholly like, you know, what if an inspector comes down here, sir? I'm not like trying to be like a nerd about it, but of course, like the pronounced amount of ink that's throughout this game has always like been a little bit staggering to me. So as we kind of come out of here and go back into the central area, the door should have all of the goop out from around it, but as we Wait, oh, we have to go to the office. That's right. I kind of forget what we're doing here in terms of, like, there's so many valves that turn off ink and stuff. It's easy for me to forget shit. So, Sammy Lawrence, musical department director. We can open this door up. The pump control is there. It's time to believe. And here is a blueprint for the, a blueprint for the ink machine Mark II. That's that thing that we had seen up in, that we had turned on in chapter 1. Take the stairs. Yes, sir, if you say so. So now the pumps are on, and we should have a straight shot down to the downstairs. But we get knocked in the back of the head, almost like an old Looney Tunes style, like boing. And this guy is like singing a little song. I'm gonna be quiet because this is a cutscene I want you to hear.
Listen tight. We wouldn't want our sheep roaming away now, would we? No, we wouldn't. I must admit, I am honored you came all the way down here to visit me. It almost makes what I'm about to do seem cruel. But the believers must honor their savior. I must have him notice me. Wait, you look familiar to me. That face. Not now, for our Lord is calling to us, my little sheep. The time of sacrifice is at hand. And then I will finally be freed from this prison, this inky, dark abyss I call a body. Shh. Quiet. Listen. I can hear him crawling above. Crawling. Let us begin. The ritual must be completed. Soon he will hear me. He will set us free.
Sheep, it's time for sleep. Rest your head. It's time for bed. In the morning, you may wake. Or in the morning, you'll be dead. Hear me, Bendy. Arise from the darkness. Arise and claim my offering. Free me, I beg you. I summon you, ink demon. Show your face and take this tender sheep. No, my lord, stay back. I am your prophet.
All right, so unfortunately for Sammy anyway, the Dark Lord, the Ink Demon, was not nearly as enthralled with him as he was with it, and it was not willing to accept us as an offering. But I am sure, given the knowledge that we were here by the Ink Demon, it would swiftly try and kill us. So anyway, we're kind of like running from this thing, or meant to be like, we're running. We can see the ink machine dipping down into a lower level over there. It's like on some chains that are running. This here will, I broke the axe. Whoops. Yeah, this will start a chase sequence. In my experience, if you don't do this nearly perfect, you're like the whole time you're running, you'll probably die. Also, don't dip into that ink there. It makes you really slow, so it's almost like a trap a little bit. That other way that we came down is the location of a checkpoint, so like if you happen to die during this chase, that's where it'll respawn you. This door shuts and a board falls in front of it, and we've got plenty of time. This is not like an involved cutscene, so I'm just going to keep talking over it. This is our transition from Chapter 2 into Chapter 3. Our character calls out to somebody to reveal themselves. There's a label for a lift there on the wall, and then suddenly another character comes out. It almost looks like Goofy. So funny how similar all these characters clearly look to other, real life characters. And we call out to him. His name is Boris. And so, I don't know. I guess we know his name now. Chapter 3, Rise and Fall. So we have made it to chapter 3. I'm looking at my recording time here, which I can now preview while I'm recording. Very funny to see that those chapters were almost identical in length. Almost identical. They're like 15 minutes, the first one, 16 minutes, the second one. So we now want to leave the safe house. Kind of cool that they've got a safe house here. We saw, like here on this thing, I didn't address this is like Boris the wolf. So he's not Goofy the... What is it, dog? Is that what the Goofy is? I know he's a dog, but like, is that what he's called in the Donald Duck? We got Mickey Mouse. I don't know what the fuck Donald's last name is, or Goofy's last name is. We can play the banjo here. I always kind of assumed that Boris's, instrument was his banjo, but I think he's got like a piccolo, honestly. All right. So we need to open this door, but the lever is gone, and Boris probably has it. So we talk to him, and we're like, hey, have you seen the lever around? Or do you want me to make you something to eat and you'll give it to me? I thought this was a really funny detail. Look at this. Boris and Henry have been playing cards here for a little while, and they're exactly tied on wins. That's very funny. You can't say whatever game they're playing is not exactly fair. This is a weird sort of cut out caricature a little bit. He wants us to, I think, yeah, right, we're cooking, right? Find the 3 soup cans. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure I didn't just consume a soup can that I actually have to use to cook. So, all right, there is a second one. Oh, yes, and I almost forgot where the third one is. It's back in our room. It's very easy to kind of forget about, honestly. In here, let me see, there it is. And then I think there's like a way we can give a bone to Boris, but I can't remember how to do it. This room, like, you won't see anything like very interesting in here. This is locked, and this one you can open, but like you can flush the toilet, but it doesn't do anything. I jumped here, and I thought somehow we were supposed to get in there to get the Bendy ink whenever I was playing, but that's not what you're meant to do. So we can cook Boris up some. I haven't even addressed what kind of soup that is. It's called bacon soup. And I was thinking about that, like, what do I think bacon soup would taste like? Like, clearly bacon, right? I mean, it looks fucking horrendous. It looks really gross. But my guess on, like, what it would probably taste like, like, whenever you eat ramen and you're done with ramen and there's, like, only the ramen broth yet left, I would say that it, like, bacon soup probably tastes sort of similar to ramen broth, but with, like, maybe like the ham ramen broth, or, like, I guess chicken a little bit, like, if you don't want to eat, like pig's meat. This here is a little miracle station. You can hit the interact button on it to hide, and enemies cannot touch you in here no matter what. So like if you're in a chase, if you're if you have no weapons, or like if you're about to die, you can get some reprieve by hiding in one of those, and the enemies will usually fuck off anyway while you have one. So we've got Boris nearby in a very dark area. There's no jump scares here or anything, but we do have to stay very near to Boris. I generally just like let him walk in front, or else he'll like get stuck behind you. This was I don't know, this is like a fine area or whatever, but it like Boris is not a very brave character. At least not like right now. Like, he might do brave actions, but like he's always a scaredy cat, and oh my goodness, there's like creeping and running around and stuff. Yeah, see, Briar label bacon soup. How disgusting. I don't think I would try bacon soup, especially since it literally just looks like ink. Ink with just kind of like little drops of like shit on, like peas. Like, that film that like if you have like pea soup, peas can get in it. Oh, that's so gross. So this is a dead end, and we ask Boris if he has any ideas, and we go to talk to him. He takes our little flashlight and then crawls into this ventilation shaft. Oh my goodness, excuse me, I got hella acid reflux today. It's always something. I'm either burping, or I'm hiccuping, or I'm fucking got acid reflux, and I'm like just barely keeping up from throwing up in my mouth. Honestly, probably thinking a little bit about that soup has my stomach a little messed up. Okay, so Boris managed to open the door for us. Ahead, you can see we've got Bendy here, like a caricature. Not a caricature. I need to get that out of my vernacular. We are in Heaven's Toys, Joey Drew Studios. So I think that this is like a not subsidiary, but like imagine like Joey Drew Studios is like a huge like facility, right? And this is an area that is not in charge of animating, but they make toys for children instead. I don't know the point of punching in. I honestly think it might be for if you're like saving the game, if that makes sense. So like, let's say I was done playing and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take a break for the day. I believe I can hit those to save. Yeah, look, they got a little Boris toy. It's kind of crazy that you can buy these like IRL now. Why is that one so glitched? Whatever. Anyway, well, listen to this. What's this say? Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure this is Jacksepticeye. So funny. No reason for Mr. Drew to be flying off the handle at me. Something about, like, I got full of that angel, whatchamacallit. Not a scrap of that mess be selling. Oh, so, like, this guy has, like, certain stock that he has to be selling. And he has a lot of the Alice, Isn't that Alice the Angel? I'm sure we'll see, like, stuff of her around, and he isn't able to push it for whatever reason. So, I'm pretty sure I have to, like, maybe I have to follow these. Oh, yeah, actually, now that we've came in there, we have to flip this lever. So, in order to get the secret weapon for this, this chapter 3, what you have to do is interact. You see this little thing right here right now? It looks like Bendy. I know you can't see it very well because I can't see it super well. And then now it's Boris. And then now it's the Alice Angel, I believe. And then now it's the ink machine. You want to leave it on ink machine. We go to, like, you know, activate this. And we have to take a bunch of shit out of the that's clogging up the gears nearby. I believe there's a couple over here too. Let's see. One here as well. Turn on the toy machine. Nice. So now we can flip this, which should move all these toys out of my way. So yeah, just leave that on the ink machine if you want the secret weapon. There's also other stuff you have to do, but I don't know how much of this I'm going to let play out because you can't hear it very well. A lot of it's singing and stuff. So honestly, I think I'll just take over it for now. She's quite a gal. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to, so obviously like we've got Minnie, Mickey Mouse, but this girl kind of reminds me more of like a Popeye. Wow, why do I know the bad guy from Popeye, but not the fucking woman? We got Popeye, Bluto, and her name isn't Dot, is it? I can't fucking remember. Now, there's nothing that I have to be, like, doing here. Alice Angel, nice, that's her name. Whoa, I'm Alice Angel. You look, whoa, I came closer because you look spooky, not because I wanted to get that intimate with you. Sorry. I wanted to be up against the glass when you freaked out. And then she's like, you know, saying how she can see us. A new fly in my endless web. It's so funny, this character, like, constantly, like, rotates between, like, good, evil. Not like in the things she does. Because, like, I would never call her ever a good character. But, like, I don't know. She's not good for us, ever. Here is Alice Angel. You can see, like, some of the... God damn it, why do I want to say caricature? I might have to open up a thesaurus halfway through this playthrough, so I just stopped calling things what they are. But like little drawings, animations of these like the drawing animations of these characters. So you have two different options here. You can go to the demon or the angel path. In my experience, I've never noticed a difference between the two, but apparently, supposedly, you know, the demon path is like harder, makes the chapter harder. But you also want to do this path if you want to, you want to do this path if you're going to get the secret weapon that I was talking about. It's really not that impressive. I'm not like even trying to hype it up or anything. I'm just kind of talking to talk. That was a Joey Drew studio, or a Joey Drew, like recording where he's like, if you believe it, you can do it. It's so funny. So I played alpha, beta, and then I played, well, obviously, like what this is now, like the full release. Hey, there's old Bendy again. And in all that time, like I never, Boris and us are talking right now. Oh yeah, we're asking if he has anything we can use to defend ourselves, and we got a wrench it's like a pipe wrench, I guess. What was I saying? Oh, so I played this game a lot, and I played it like. God, like probably like my first couple years of college is whenever the full game for this came out. I don't think there's anything to actually see back here just yet. And in that time that I played this game. I thought like Joey Drew was like an out and out, always a good guy kind of guy. I don't know if I wasn't seeing the forest for the trees or what, but like, I don't know. He's a little bit evil, I guess. So we have to find a second switch. I don't think it's back here. I think back this way is mostly a dead end, but we'll explore it. I don't know if there's something to see. I think we might be able to see the ink machine if we're quick enough here. Yep, down goes the ink machine again, which you can only see like in this split kind of second instance. Then we have like one of these panels is like broken open all the way back here in the back, and it's so lame because we don't ever have reason to come back here. Feel familiar? That's giving us some hints about story elements of the ending of this game and stuff, which I'll talk about whenever we actually get to it, but for now, it probably will not. The creator lied to us. I probably do need to just sit down and read the book and stuff, because I don't care about all the stuff that really happens pre this game, and maybe I just need to play the Dark Revival finally. What are these two talking about? Oh, they're talking about, like, what you do in certain cases, like, if, you'll blow every pipe in this place. If it reaches 45, you unhook the safety switch. Thank God that's not a puzzle. What else was I... Oh, yes, we have to go this way. So as we come down to here, I can't remember if we can go ahead and... Nope, there's an enemy that we have to fight already. God damn it. This guy is really spooky. His introduction is, like, really, really good by my estimation. Now, it just kind of sucks for him that that holding back on the walk button and swinging is good enough to beat him. I don't know. Maybe I need to, like... I don't know. It was... I'm sure that people like Jacksepticeye and stuff like probably like launched this game into the stratosphere and helped with like its success. And then that was a bit of like a, wow, what's the word? Like, where two things work, like a synergistic kind of thing, like an ecosystem where like, you know, they then have content to like record and react to and stuff. I've always liked like people like Markiplier, and I like certain Jacksepticeye videos, but I'm not like a Jacksepticeye fan on the whole. Whereas I would probably call myself like a Markiplier fan. I honestly haven't probably watched his stuff in like, God, probably like 5, 6, 7 years. All right, let's hop onto the old elevator there, Boris. Where are we going to go? Can I go wherever I want? Nope, we got to take it to a specific place. So Alice Angel is now telling us that we are interesting and different, and she's a fan. She is, I don't want to call it flirtatious, but she is flattering. Looks like you've got a date with an angel. Oh, never mind. She is flirting with us. Come to me now, level 9. Yes, baby, yes. She did look a little bit deformed when we saw her. Date with an angel. Visit Alice Angel on level 9. You got it. Level P. I don't know where that stands in all of this. I think K is the top floor, 11, P 9, 14. I don't know. The floors around here are all kinds of fucky. But we're on level 9. Thankfully, that's where the elevator is, like, sort of predestined to go. So, come on out, or come on, step out of your cage, she says. All right. There's a whole twisted world out here. Sometimes the elevators don't open. Sometimes they come back. Wait, sometimes they come, sometimes they go. I keep telling... Joey Drew keeps cutting corners like this. Someone's sure to end up falling to their death. At least now that makes a little bit more sense. Whenever I played this game, the elevator was doing some really weird shit. She's quite a gal. Are we able to visit her? Open up. I'm here. Oh, it is opening. I'm surprised we're actually going to get to see her, because I don't think we ever enter here again after we come in the first time. So, get your looks at the lovely lady while we're here. No, this isn't the last time we'll see her. Oh, yeah, I'm getting an idea of why we might not want to come back here anyway. So there is Boris seeing a rib cage busted open. Boris, feel bad for him. Imagine if you walked into a room where there were dozens of versions of you, like, tortured and opened, and Alice Angel is now saying that she opened them up to add parts to herself to make her beautiful. I'm sure there's an answer, but my question was like, I wonder if the parts that she took from Boris made her beautiful, or if it's the part of her that I would describe as not. I'm not so certain. Lots of machinery around here, and very, very soon, yep, we'll come face to face with the lovely lady herself. I'll let this cutscene play out without me interrupting it.
Now we come to the question. Do I kill you? Do I tear you apart to my heart's delight? The choices of the beautiful are unbearable. How's a girl to choose? Take this little freak, for instance. He crawled in here, trailing his tainted ink to my door. It could have touched me. It could have pulled me back.
Do you know what it's like, living in the dark puddles?
It's a buzzing, screaming well of voices.
Bits of your mind swimming like fish in a bowl.
The first time I was born from its inky womb, I was a wiggling, pulsing, shapeless slug. The second time, well,
It made me an angel. I will not let the demon touch me again. I'm so close now. So almost perfect.
yes, I will spare you. For now. Better yet, I'll even let you ascend and leave this place. If you will do a few eensy-weensy little favors for me first. Return to the lift, my little errand boy. We have work to do.
Alright, so we've got a bunch of jobs we're going to have to do. Oh, I haven't worked here in 30 years, and we're back here already busting our hump, performing all kinds of bullshit jobs. I was thinking about this. She says she doesn't want to be touched by the ink again. The first time that she was in the ink, she became a slug, like an ugly slug, she describes it. Second time, she became an angel, which I'm assuming is the prettier parts of herself that I've seen. So, I mean, honestly, if your luck is 50-50 and your most recent one's a positive one, I don't know why you wouldn't just try her for the third time. Don't be so scared of the thing. Boris has now fucked off. I cannot really blame him, even in part, because clearly, that's a hellish area to be in at all. So I think I can't remember. Okay. She wants us to gather her spare parts. I think we get a weapon already. I can't remember if the wrench is better or worse. I don't know. None of these weapons are like particularly much better or much worse. It all comes down to like damage and then, what your swing speed is with it. So like some weapons have like more damage, slower swing speed. I don't know. You get the idea. I don't have to break you down in all the permutations. You should know by now. Sometimes faster, sometimes weaker. That's pretty much it. Alright, so she is advising us about the ink demon. What floor do we have to go on? Level K. Okay, I'm not just going to sit here and listen to her if I don't have to. She's advising us to hide if we ever run into the ink demon. And if we aren't able to hide, then, well, she enjoyed our date. Let me think. Did I? No, you traumatized my friend. And Alice is saying, like, have you met the ink demon? I believe we run head to head with one of the monsters where we can get a gear. How many gears are we looking for? Search for gearboxes on level K. I confused myself big time on this. I was like looking all over this floor and stuff. It's really not that hard. I don't know, and all I saw her do was like literally torture another guy. So she mentally tortured poor old Boris, and then she physically tortured some guy on like a fucking electric chair. So I'm gonna say I did not enjoy our date. All right, so there's another gear. These are the gearboxes. These like little electrical panel looking things. Sometimes they have stuff in them. Sometimes they don't. I think that not this one. I don't know if it's random or not. It's not probably that important. All right, there it is. Another important aspect of this chapter for getting the secret weapon is you can't die. So if I die at any point, then like it's considered, I guess there was one right here. At least it didn't have a gear in it. So if I die at any point, we won't be able to get the weapon. I guess I'll probably reload the chapter if that were to happen, because I already promised that I would show it off. It's really not that impressive. I think I've already even talked about how it's just a Tommy gun. It does make the last job that we have to perform like really, really easy. There's basically like 3 jobs, and then there's a big job at the end that we have to do. It's kind of a shame. None of the jobs that she gives us like makes me anyway feel like I don't know, that we're doing anything. Like, I'm trying to think, like, compared to another game, right? Like, we get somebody, like, a bunch of stuff, and it makes kind of sense what they're using it for. And she does implicitly tell us, like, oh, I want you to do this because, you know, these are the parts I need to be beautiful, or, like, I don't know, like, I need this to be whole or something. But, like, I don't know, it's not always the case. So we dropped our wrench in there along with the parts that she wanted. She's talking about swollen ones. I lucked out whenever I played this, and my enemies were, like, really glitched. So I'm hoping that that will retain into this playthrough, that they'll also be kind of glitched. She says something about, like, moving quietly and stuff like that. I don't know. Alright, so we'll get another new weapon. Every time that we get a new job, we get a new weapon. This one operates very similarly to clearly the last two weapons we've had, or I guess three now at this point. We've also had the axe. It's just a little bit more precise. I'll go ahead and hit this button. Where are we going to? Level 11. Up to level 11. I don't know if I'm just not paying attention at all whenever this shit's up, but I'm looking at this on two different screens. One of them is like a little bit too big for me, and it's not actually looking all that great, but the one that I'm looking that you'll be able to see actually looks really, really good, which like will fit more of like how it'll look on your screen and stuff. So I don't think this is one of the enemies that we're looking for. We're looking for, like, these are like, yeah, see, there's like a fat guy way out there. Yep, and he just disappeared, and now he's behind us somewhere, it kind of sounds like. Yep, I'll just go ahead and stab him. There we go. We got one of the goops. And again, we're looking for 3 of them, so, and they should all be on this floor. I think I also fought an enemy on this floor that had the goop on him. Yeah, there he is. Or is that does he have goop on him? I guess we'll see whenever we eventually kill him, right? He is, like, if you get close enough to him, he'll deal damage to you. I'm not just picking on this little munchkin guy. Is this no, this is not the one of the big guys we're looking for. I actually didn't have to go very far into this area the last time that I played, so hopefully we don't die. Oh, goodness. Oh, yeah, I didn't get to see this guy either. Nice. That's the projector, or the projectionist, I believe. It's another character kind of similar to the Ink Devil, or like Bendy, as I've been kind of calling him. It's sort of like in that he's like imposing, he's in the area, and he's like kind of generally guarding an area. Oh, nice, and the elevator is gone. So I said before, like, you know, the elevator kind of, you know, is going to do its own thing, as that tape recorder sort of described. I wonder if this is not necessarily a gameplay mechanic, but instead like a method of like... So I kind of went pretty far away from this elevator. I wonder if it just deloaded the elevator. I doubt that very highly, but I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. Alrighty, Boris, you've got the easy job here. Just kind of stand on the elevator. I believe if you like attack him a couple times... No, I thought he like cowered. I didn't mean to just pick on him there, but, yeah, so the projectionist is like another like big entity that's going to be like, not like hounding us too much. It's actually funny because, there's only like one part in the game he'll ever be kind of difficult, and the other times that we run into him, we're going to be able to wax him like he's nothing. Alright, dropping off more goop for our new girlfriend, Alice Angel. So, look for valve panels, turn the little wheels, and then bring me their power cores. Alright, this has sounded a lot like Jack and Dexter. Find me 30 power cells. At least she wants way less of them than anybody else in that game does. Now we have the plunger. This weapon is kind of almost like a straight downgrade. The swings are alright, but it's always a 2. Like, it'll always, even for the basic enemies, always take 2 swings. See what floor we gotta go to. P. We're going to floor P. Hopefully that's semi-nearby. Not that it really matters. I mean, the lift will take us there. It's not like I gotta take the stairs up to it or anything. Alright, and it seems like it might, as slow as the elevator is going, seems like it might be, yeah, pretty close. These, Bendy, just in case I don't happen to show one off, these act as like the checkpoints in this game. Level P, work hard, work happy. Alright, if you say so. There are a lot of these like invisible, or not invisible, the little miracle machines, because like, you know, there's a good chance that we'll run into the ink demon here. I don't want to work here anymore. Me at work every day. I tell you, no better feeling though whenever after two weeks that paycheck hits though. I hear a lot of like clunking around. So you'll know whenever the ink demon is like close because the area will turn really, really dark. Well, I guess it won't turn that bad. Oh, and there's an enemy behind me. There must be because I'm still getting hit. The reason I wanted to fight that enemy is because I knew he would drop one of those power cores. So every one of these that's equal, like balanced, then that means that that's not one that we're looking for. This one here, for example, is not balanced and is one we actually have to juggle. It's not hard though. You just twist these valves. Some of them go up, some of them go down until they all land on the little black dot. So like that one needs another one. Oh, there's another enemy behind me. He must have just spawned at my feet. Alright, so that middle one's good, for example. Shit, I accidentally turned the middle one again. Son of a bitch, who cares? Alright, that one on the right's now close to, the one on the right's done, one on the left's done. I have to do the middle one. Sorry, I'm not able to see, like, the environment very well here. So I was wondering if, the ink demon was like spawning. I played years ago. Well, years ago, not that long, maybe like a year ago. I played this game called Pillar Chase 2. It's a Roblox game, and I know like everybody's initial impression is like, oh my god, Dr. Dirk, you play Roblox games. I got recommended, like, while I was looking around on wikis, like fandom wikis, other wikis, and it returned me like this crazy ass looking article for like a cool looking 3D Mario. Oh, there comes Bendy. No better time to hide than when I'm in the middle of a story. Oh, there he is. That was really spooky for a minute there. But yeah, even though he aggroed onto us, we're of course inside of this box, and then we just have to wait in here until the goop around us is all gone. And I'm really close to finishing that puzzle that I'm on anyway, and then we can just leave this floor. But you don't want Bendy to grab you because that's considered a death, and then a death means we don't get the secret weapon. Anyway, so Pillar Chase, and what it is it's like a lot of like random horror stuff, like Jeff the Killer, Coronation Day Peach, Sonic.exe, the like spooky, whatever the spooky Mario is. It's like, I don't know. I'm not up to date on all the new creepypasta stuff, but, and then they all like chase like your Roblox avatar through like some Dead by Daylight kind of stuff. Like if you're familiar with Dead by Daylight, it was a pretty good game. Well, I don't have a problem with it. I just kind of played it out. Like, I played it as much as I wanted to play it, and then I got sick of it. So whenever I talk about, like, my misgivings with the game, it's not because it's actually bad. I thought it was good. It's not, like, the best game in the world or anything, but I thought it was alright. Okay, so there's an enemy, and I'm kind of lost on, like, where I'm supposed to be going. I guess I could probably just take the stairs down, because floor 9 is directly underneath of me anyway, so I just didn't know how to get back to the elevator on the floor that I was on necessarily. Oh, nice. So at least if the elevator is like completely fucking up for you, you can still take the stairs. So I would presume that we're on floor 9 here, and this is an enemy. What was I even talking about? Oh yeah, but that game has the ink demon in it as a playable like hunter, and oh my god, that game is like. Well, that entity is not exactly, like, the most deadly or anything, but I did like playing as him. He's very fun. He sets down ink traps across the map, and you have to, like, avoid them, and then, like, he can, like, teleport through the ink traps and stuff. They slow you down if you're in them. It's really good. So, let's see, that's our second or third job. I kind of lost track. I think that's our third job. Nope, we got the axe now. Destroy all Bendy cutouts. I might have been wrong. We might have to do 4 jobs before we get the big job. We have to go destroy all the Bendy cutouts on whatever floor that she's telling us we have to go to. It's a low one, isn't it? No, it's level K. That's the very top, I think. The highest one we've been to anyway. Alright, and I also think you can use the door to, like, open it, because I think this can act as a checkpoint. So like, let's say again I close out of the game, I'm like, I'm gonna take a break, and I close out of the game, and then I like refire up the game. I think it has a chance of starting us in here. Alright, so I'm going to whoop this guy. Jesus Christ, you can see how fucking deadly the axe is. Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think there's like any hidden Bendy cutouts like there or anything. We're just going to run around on this floor and do all the cutouts. The door's shut on us. It's very annoying. Wherever we see a Bendy cutout, we'll chop it up. Was I saying anything else? I was just talking a little bit about that pillar chase game I played. What other experience do I have? Like I said, okay, so I probably still have the email because that's like not an email that I clean out very often. But I don't think there's any bendies down this way. I'm going to put a pin in that and we'll see. I also don't think there's any bendies down this way. I think these are all like, those two ways are kind of dead ends. Was I? Oh, I was talking about like so I probably still have the email for it, but like, I bought the second chapter. It was like released episodic, Bendy and the Ink Machine. I bought the second chapter on Game Jolt like years ago, like as soon as the second chapter came out. And I remember being like, damn, that was a pretty good game or whatever. But like, it didn't like blow me away, but I was like, okay, I'm waiting for chapter 3. Like that'll be exciting. And then like, I didn't follow this game for a long ass time. And I feel like, 2, 3, 4 years later, like this game finally came out and I don't own there's like a game. So Bendy and the Ink Machine is the first game. It looks like the monster's up ahead. If I can find, oh shit, that actually spooked me a little bit. I'm looking for one of this was like a horrific decision by me. I cannot believe I just did this. I'm looking for one of those miracle stations. I'm probably going to get grabbed here. After I did all that work too. No, maybe not. I'm not seeing his stuff is still chasing us. Son of a bitch. Where's the nearest, miracle station? Like, for real. Okay, here's one. Sue, this was a close one. I didn't... Oh, and I still died? You're shitting me. Oh, man. Do I want to restart the chapter? God damn it, but I talked all that shit about this gun. You know what? Fuck it. I'll be back here in a minute. 1 second. Alright, we're back, fellas. We just hid from Bendy, so I wouldn't guess that there is going to be a Bendy chase here anytime soon. Like very soon anyway. We've got 9 more Bendies to chop up, and they should all be generally in this next big area. Like, I'm not too worried about like that I might have missed any on this floor because there's a lot in this like very, very last area. The toy shop, or like where I was describing what the toy place was initially, it should be, or a lot of the Bendies should be in here. I don't see any like up on that upper floor, but there's a lot on this lower floor. Apparently this is also the location of like what the community calls like a secret boss that you can fight. It's just a bigger version of one of the searchers, like one of the basic enemies that you can fight. I'm not I don't even know how to activate that. I tried to look it up, like try to get a written description of it, and I could not find it. So I'm just gonna peek right here. I'm not seeing any. I'm gonna check in this like comb this room here a little bit. Hey, there it is. Coolio. All right, that was fun, she says, but I forgot to mention Bendy hates when I do that, so I would hide if I were you, she says. I'm gonna see if he spawns like very close to me. I know I'm playing with fade here a little bit, but wait, hold up. Kind of looks like it might be behind me. What I really don't want to do is like just run head first into it. But again, I should see that in the environment, I would think. So, I don't know. I guess anything could really happen. It might also just be giving me more time to like hide. I don't know. I should see the environment change before I run into him. So again, we're back here. I did chapter select and did this. I'm a little bit worried that I won't... Sorry, I thought the way that the lighting was changing, I thought that he might be nearby. I just don't want to get caught like immediately like that again. That was really lame. I don't know that this will immediately roll into chapter 4, so I might have to play chapter 3 off screen so that I can play the dumbass save where I died and I won't have the Tommy gun for the upcoming segment or whatever. I don't need it, but I have been talking it up, and I'm like, well, fuck it. Okay, I don't like that has black goop over it, for sure. Again, I should see the environment change whenever I would see Bendy. I have no idea why that's gooping. I'm right beside the like one of these angel things. So while we're waiting on this elevator to come up, I have the ability to hide if it becomes an emergency, I guess. Alright, we didn't see Bendy there. I know he spawns whenever you break all those, but I think he spawns near where you broke the last one. Yeah, Boris, we're out of here. I know you're scared as hell, but I don't know. I like the look of Boris. I mean, what's like the scariest, probably like Disney game, or like game that features Mickey Mouse? I guess probably like Kingdom Hearts, maybe, and even then, that game's like not clearly not like scary or horror themed. I really didn't get the story of Kingdom Hearts. I need to go back and play that now that I'm a little bit older and stuff. I do have the collection on Steam because there was like a hell of a fucking sale on it. Like, let's see, it normally goes like, and it's the first one, the second one, and like all the old Kingdom Hearts, everything but the new Kingdom Hearts 3. Oh, there's a bunch of enemies coming. So I find the best way to handle these guys, because they all spawn on this upper level here. Well, clearly taking out this like pile of goop is going to help us, but I like to kind of meet them just as they're coming off of the stairs here, and then we have plenty of room to just back. We have plenty of room behind us to back up. See, like, down goes one. And I think there's 3 in total, these enemies. It's the enemies that... It's called the Butcher Gang. But this is the enemies that, like, we fought on each of the floors before to complete these quests. I don't think I've played any other Disney games, really, besides, like, fucking Kingdom Hearts. I'm trying to, like... I don't even think I played any of the old ones. People say Piglet's Adventure is worth playing. I don't know that for sure, though. I had a friend explain it to me because, like, everybody's saying it's scary and stuff, and he said it just uses the same sound font as Silent Hill. So we're here. We're waiting for... we are here. We have to wait for her to give us our next job is what we're waiting on. See Boris on the elevator, I think. I can't quite see him from this distance. Yeah, I guess so. Alright, so we're going to take the lift down, say hello to an old friend, and she's going to give us one hell of a present. A little firepower. Take care of it. It belonged to someone very special. I don't know who it belonged to, but I do think in the game that follows this one that isn't Dark Revival, yes sir, she uses it, so... Maybe it is Dark Revival where she uses it. I don't know. Anyway, we have a Tommy gun now. This is well, it's a good weapon. I shouldn't just say it's an okay weapon. It's a good weapon. If you come here, where are we going? Descend to the depths, which I think are 14 because the floors go down. What was I? Oh, I was talking about like what happens if you don't set all the like prerequisites, like doing the demon path and what have you. It just melts in your hands like whenever you go to pick it up, and I don't know if she even gives you a weapon following that. Like she might just say, well, Chuck, you're shit out of luck. This is kind of odd. You'll see the projectionist come out here. Projectionist, not the projector. You can handle him pretty easily with the Tommy gun. I think I'm gonna try to light him up from here. I don't really got a good angle on him. I would kind of assume that would wake him up if that was gonna hit from all the way back there. I had some kind of weird thing happen the last time I played this game where like he aggroed on me like pretty much the second I spawned in. Like I was up there and then like I took the heart and then he was like immediately aggroed onto me. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna handle him with this. I'm gonna open up with what I have there. I hear some of it hitting. Well, there you go. Down goes the projectionist. I guess I could open this too. I don't think there's the projectionist, they always say, creeping around. He's just looking for trouble. Well, trouble or not, I see everything. Well, I think it's just a guy saying that he's sneaking around the projectionist is how he deals with it. So he recommends that for anybody who might have to be down here too. This area is really dark and I hate the spawns of these hearts. It's not the end of the world. Let's see. We probably only have 2. No, we have 3 left. So we have to get 6 in total for here. The first one being as soon as we came down on this floor. Maybe if I just skirt the outskirts, it'll be fine. The boards that are breakable, you are able to break with your Tommy gun, so I just must not be able to break open those boards. While we're back here, I'm just gonna, check and make sure that none of these corpses have it on them. I don't want to, this is an area that I've had trouble searching in the past. So, all right, nothing. Oh wait, there is one over here. Thank goodness it's glowing a little bit. The item glow is helping out a ton, especially as fucking dark as this place is. I couldn't imagine like hiding around these corners and waiting for the projectionist and stuff like that. I do know in a later part you can actually outrun the projectionist. He's not like a difficult enemy to. Oh wait, no, I need 5. Okay. You can outrun the projectionist, and I'll be showing that off because he's not really a difficult enemy whenever you run into him in that case. Is that a... No, that's not a heart. Alright, I think we're running out of space here, though. Alright, and then it leads out to there. Okay, I'm going to check this middle area, and if I'm not able to find it, I'm going to have to cut until I'm able to. So, alright, this is like the middle area I was talking about. And then I think... Yeah, I'm pretty certain I've already been here. Alright. Okay, so what I think I'm going to have to do, I'm going to check the immediate area, like right outside of here, because I think this is pretty much the only area I haven't checked, and if I'm not able to find it, yeah, okay, I'll be back. Alright, I found it. It's right here. It's what I would call was like the back left of that area. It was on the floor there. Alice Angel is now telling us to bring her the hearts, and we're going to do just that. Put the hearts in the drop box on level 9. Yes, ma'am. I don't know. Now I'm getting a little lost on the way out. Anyway, Chapter 3 is fine. I think we're getting ready to wrap up Chapter 3 just kind of generally. It's okay. I don't mind like the kind of like fetch quest stuff. That doesn't really irritate me. I just am not really enthralled by any of the characters. I also think like, I don't know, the hiding in lockers bit is a little bit, I think you could probably come up with something else. I'm interested to play the Dark Revival by myself to see if I think it would be worth playing for this. I kind of like the what's it called? Like first person, like not open world, but like, even though I had to give, what's that game called? Security Breach? Yeah, that's what it's called, right? Security Breach, a bad review on Steam because it's like, it was really glitched whenever it came out. I haven't played it in years, but like, I felt really cheated by, like the state that Security Breach launched in, because I bought it like day one and played it because I was like, holy shit, this is a Five Nights at Freddy's game that's in like open world. You can walk around. That's fucking crazy. Are you kidding me? But I felt like kind of cheated a little bit by the state that the game was in. I believe this is the end of the to-do list. She says that we can now escape through the lift. I'll always treasure it, she says. Goodness, you're making me blush. All right, so she will send us home. I believe we have to get on the elevator. I don't know. So like anything that's like a 3D, like kind of walking around joint for like horror. Like My Friendly Neighbor is another good one. I don't know if I've played any other like really good like 3D like first person horror games. I would like to play Five Nights at Freddy's for this channel a little bit. I don't know, but how do you handle the jump scares is my kind of thing. Because I just recently had a game that had 2 jump scares in it, and I felt like it was really corny to like, temper them down a little bit. But at the same time, like, I don't know, that's just, I don't know. I like the later Five Nights at Freddy's games, though, too. I don't know. Oh, shit, the Ink Demon was on that floor. Huh. We might see him as we go back down. Alice Angel is like telling us, that we apparently stole from her. She does like this kind of like, not bait and switch, but like, tricking us a little bit, sorta. She's like, I know you stole from me. I know. And what we stole from her is supposedly Boris. It's the most perfect Boris she's ever seen. Well, I don't know. It seems like I've got competition in Boris now, whether she wants me or Boris. She wants him so she can take his insides and be beautiful again. Don't you get it? Give him to me. Actually, no, I'm not surprised why she appears in the next game. Never mind. Once you're dead, and then I've said this before that like I'm not scared to be on elevators like in real life, but I have dreams often of like falling down, like being in an elevator and it like falls, or like it flips on its side like while I'm in the elevator. Like regularly I have those nightmares. And we're seeing here in the back, we're watching Alice Angel Pull Boris away with her. Oh, man. I'm interested to see if it's going to kick me to the next chapter, what it's going to do here exactly. Or if it's going to spit me out to the main menu. Our character is saying, like, oh shit, we do get to go straight to chapter 4. Cool. Colossal Wonders. It was saying something like, our character was saying something like, okay, Joey, let's see what we can, I don't know, come up with here or something. It wasn't important. I hate that this game isn't always closed captioned. Like, I wish if it was going to be closed captioned, it just stayed closed captioned. Grant Cohen is the next area it looks like we're going to. We need to go over here and, like, acknowledge that we need a valve to open this door. Enter the archives. Find the missing turn wheel. Sir, yes, sir. I think, no, this is the management door. This level has like a lot of like general kind of jump scares a little bit, like flashing and like moments where like things kind of look like they're going to grab you in that flashing and stuff. The first of which comes whenever we like start interacting with these books in this next area. I'm going to have it like turned down where it's not going to be loud, but like you're going to have to I guess deal with that. Locate the secret passage. He will set us free. And then it has like a bunch of people like kind of all posing in front of a Bendy. I don't know. Do you think there's anybody out there that like genuinely worships Mickey Mouse? I don't know. Not from like an ironic point of view or anything, but this is Susie Campbell. I believe it's the voice for like most of the female stuff, including Alice Angel and something about like, she always wants to be Alice Angel, and then she sort of feels cheated that like somebody else is going to be Alice Angel. All right, so we have to push in 5 of these books. This whole level is like a bunch of little mini games. There's another book. I think it's by like the 3rd or the 4th book that we press that we get like a sudden like burst of light and sound and stuff. I'm checking this outer sort of area here. Maybe it like has rolled me, like maybe it's random every time, because last time I played there was 3 on the outskirts. Oh, nope, there's one right there. Okay, yep, there we are. So it does like this flashing and stuff. I'm gonna recycle the outer area just in case like it pushes, like you push one book in and then it pushes the next book out. I might have just gotten really lucky whenever I played to have gotten some friendly book placements. Oh, there's another one, and then we just need one more. I'm going to presume, yep, it's in this inner area. So there's all 5. Sounds like the door was on my right in the audio, but all right, so we open this up, and I don't know where oh yeah, enter the darkness. Ooh, I hope you mean an upper darkness, not a lower one, because I am not going down there. Oh man. Big ass place you've got here, Joey. I'm not surprised that your place kind of went out of business or whatever, as we eventually come to find. So we can get across this gap if we can find a gear to fix this. This is like a creator. Like this can make one of a whole bunch of shit. I don't know what that is. Maybe like a weight, a bone, a cup, and a gear. We have to get some goop though and bring it back to be able to operate that machine to create those things. To do that, we have to... Wait, is it not that? I think maybe there's a lever that'll open this, and then after it gets open, we turn this valve. It's got like, ink inside of it, and we can use that ink to like form into other things. So we get a basic idea of like what kind of the ink can even do. Like not only can it make these creatures, but it can make things. And I assume that the way that this company ever figured that out was in the reverse order. They knew that they could make things out of this ink, but then they figured out like, hey, maybe we can make people out of this ink too. Which is, I'm trying not to like spoil things that I happen to know outside of the plot of this game and stuff, but because before I started playing this game, so I played the game through, I didn't understand anything that was going on. This was like 2 weeks ago. And then last night I was like, okay, I want to play this game tomorrow for the channel and record it and stuff. So I read the wiki some so that I could understand like what the fuck was going on in the story. And I do get it a little bit better now. I'm glad that I did. I'm glad I read it because like, yeah, I know that I did not glean that from a modern like playing of this game. I never understood this story, but I do understand it a lot better now that I've kind of gotten to go through it. This is kind of like creepy as we're like crossing this big chasm. It just kind of breaks down on us, and we're like, oh God, what are we gonna do? This doesn't scare me nearly as much as like elevators. It probably would if I was actually on it. It's the same way like what is it? Like if I'm in like a very, very tall building, like the whole time I'm in the building, it doesn't bother me. Don't get me wrong. But like the second that I'm like, okay, like let's go look out a window, I'm like, oh God, I'm sick. Oh God. I forgot that there was like this, but I think this is the last bad one for chapter 4. So lots of hands grabbing us, and down goes the ink machine I just saw way ahead of us. So the ink machine is still moving up and down floors. There's a Bendy statue, which makes me wonder if we're going to run into any monsters. And we've got Alice Angel saying that like she's watching us, and your angel always watches you. I don't know why we just don't like, let's just settle down with one another. Let's just be, well, okay, you can be good. How's that sound? But how about we try you being a good person before we try me being evil? But I am open to either possibility, but I want to try my way first, if that's all right. Maybe you'll like being good. Better hurry, errand boy. Boris is having trouble staying in one piece. Yikes. So, Boris is getting all kinds of messed up. I thought I heard audio in this room. What the fuck? Oh, there's that guy up there. He's like saying, I just want to go home. When do we go home? I didn't get any like closed captioning there. So there are a lot of these characters here. It's funny because like a lot of these later become evil, but right now they're fine. He will set us free. It's time to believe. No angels. He will set us free. Again, I think they're talking about Bendy in this, but I also don't know. Are they talking about us? Maybe. Well, probably not. And you'll understand why by the end of this game, but I don't know who they're talking about. There'll be Bendy right here at this grate. He does like a cool little like whisper thing in front of us. I like that like effect on his teeth or whatever, where it like looks like scan lines on a TV. There has only been one game, by my estimation, that's had like a completely knockout vent sequence that's been like really good, and it's Five Nights at Freddy's. Like, well, not like bad. Like I've never seen like a bad vent sequence, but like one that like really scared me was Five Nights at Freddy's sister location, where like. I think it's at the end of like your first. It's like throughout your first night, but like you go through it, and it's like a kind of a longer sequence without much happening. But then like the computer notifies you like every time that like you go into the vent, and then there's this guy banging his head on a wall. Kind of looks like he has a little bit of like a beard, sorta, or like the Cthulhu like little tendrils on his mouth. But anyway, the vent tells you every time that somebody goes into it, like, somebody has entered the vent, somebody has exited the vent, and you go into the vent, and it's like, somebody has entered the vent, and then, like, while you're in it, and you're, like, walking, or, you're going somewhere, it's like, somebody has entered the vent, and you're like, what the fuck? And it's like, without you, like, leaving, it's like, somebody has exited the vent, and you're like, what the fuck? I don't know. I really liked Sister Location. I thought that was a good game. Come up and see me, this, note says, and there's a big ass Bendy statue. Another little miracle thing. I don't think you can run into anything dangerous here, so I don't know what it's giving me a warning about, or why it has those little miracle things. So anyway, it directs us up here, and you can see this is like where they build like this is like where how they have like Disney World and stuff. This is like kind of like the center for that a little bit, like where they want to make big parks, like real stuff that they can interact with. I don't know what that would be exactly. I think that's like a haunted house, honestly, that we go into later. But this is like a big building, almost like an Empire State Building looking thing with like rides up at the top, like a roller coaster, a train, like a big theme park. So the guy here was like the big thinker, and you can see like these pieces here meant to denote like, planning here at the park and stuff. It's by this Bertram Piedmont. We'll go ahead and flip this. But Bertram, like, he has all these big ideas, but he feels like Joey is like talking down to him the whole time. He's like, Bertram is like, he referred to me as Birdie in a meeting. What the fuck, in front of the investors? He's like, I have big ideas, and you're calling me like these cute little pet names. He's like, no, I'm Bertram. I don't know where. Oh yes, this is where we can play a lot of like carnival games to unlock the next areas that we go through. Always on time, he says. So we're looking for a switch as we kind of go through the storage area. Actually, it may not be a switch. We might just hit this. You want to hit this at its like as soon as it's like closest to you as possible. There is this haunted house that we have to get into, and we have to power it in order to, progress. So we flip this. Wait, which switch did we flip? Did we flip anything? I think that all the power is out on that, and we have to like go through area by area to power it back up. So I think actually hitting this test of strength made it so that we now have these two games open. This one here, you want to hit everything that does not have an X on it. So, like that. And you only have to get it up like so high. You don't actually have to like max this out or anything. You do have limited ammunition in this rifle, so you can run out. Like try not to use too much of it, I guess. All right, we're doing good there. Nice, we did really nice. And there's like a positive, like a doo-doo-doo, like whenever you succeed. This is similar to whenever we just did the like the hammer, like at the height of the animation, I believe is when you want to throw it. Nope, it's at the base of the animation, my bad. So we're going to fail this one, but I can show like knocking these down and stuff. I believe you have to knock them all down. Oh no, we don't have to knock them all down. We just have to knock down so many. Hey, cool. So we can continue on. Let's see. This is a very freaky looking Bendy. It kind of looks like the like costumes that people wear or whatever, like in a theme park. So this is all like a big sort of theme park, like getting ready for area. This was going to be, I think, like Bendy Land, and now it says Bendy Hell up there. That's what that Bernard, I can't remember his name, but like what he was gonna build was like this big land full of like all kinds of attractions and stuff, and that's like that haunted house we had seen in that attraction. I believe, yeah, I thought I heard the door over here opening. Research and design. I'm trying to think. Oh, this is like kind of an odd area. Let me get a bunch of these empty bacon soup cans. So they're empty and full bacon soup cans there. Whoops. That demonstrates to us that like we can knock cans over, or like throw cans in our case, to distract this gang of creatures. I'm going to toss another one way out. This is the area you want to go to first. I wouldn't say that you can get super fucked here. Like, of course you can die and do it wrong and stuff, but like going this way is the way that you'll need to go first. I hear somebody crying. Oh yeah, he's in this thing. It's another one of these like walking around creatures. He's got like the Cthulhu kind of lips to him too, which you can see in the light back there, I guess. The creator lied to us, and it looks like another kind of Bendy. Oh, and a Bendy animatronic. Another note from, this is from Lacey Benton. It says it will walk someday and maybe dance. Oh, there's the mechanical demon in the corner. So he must have been in charge of like, making this Lacey Benton. And he's like, all it does is give me the willies. I wonder if a fan ever made like a Five Nights at Freddy's like clone of Bendy and the Ink Machine. I know that there are a ton of Bendy and the Ink, or Five Nights at Freddy's clones, obviously. A recent one that I saw was really good. There's actually an Amori one that's pretty alright. There's also another one I liked was a Lethal Company one. It's called like Five Nights. I can't remember, like Five Nights at the Company or some shit like that. I thought that was pretty good. Alright, I think we might aggro them, maybe. I doubt it. But if we do, we can swiftly get away from them. No, and they won't even follow you up the stairs. They're only aggroed down there. So we hit the switches, which, power this. So now we're on our second switch. There are how many in total? 4, and then we can continue on. We're on to the third one. We have to keep our ears open for like metal grate doors opening. I believe the next one we're looking for is back in that corner. I know you probably can't hear it very well. I can't hear it very well, but I can hear it extremely faintly. Usually whenever I go to take a breath or swallow or whatever, that's where I can kind of tell where I need to go. I'll hear it in the the wind down. So I'm going to let this play until it gets very loud, but listen to this.
Biggest park ever built. A centerfold of attractions. Each one more grand than the one before it. It makes my eyes come to tears at the thought. But then, oh, Mr. Drew, for all your talk of dreams, you are the true architect behind so many nightmares. I built this park. It was to be a masterpiece. My masterpiece. And now you think you can just throw me out? Trample me to the dust and forget me? No! This is my park. My glory. You may think I'm wrong, but I'm still here.
All right, look at how creepy that is. Holy shit. It's got like a mechanical head, and I don't know if that's even supposed to be him or what exactly, but like, damn, it looks creepy. So he slams this desk down, which gives us access to the axe, and there are 4 bolts on each of these arms, so you have to knock out altogether, what is it, 4 times 4, 16? You got to knock out 16 bolts. The easiest ones to get your hands on are obviously the ones where that are like closest to you whenever they break down. You can't really, by my estimation, like get more than about 2 a swing. So there's going to be about like 8 of these, and even then, like, we got to luck out and kind of be on the right side where we haven't yet hit these bolts yet, which isn't bad because we're already like a quarter of the way there. I don't know. I thought that like this was a really cool kind of boss fight and stuff for like being what it is. And I don't even know if you would consider this a boss fight. It's just more than like the average enemies. Also glad to see we have the axe back here again. So this guy like kind of decided like, you know, if you're going to make it so that I can't like complete this park for whatever reason, or like, you know, I can't complete my dream. He's like, okay, here's what we're going to do instead. I'm going to like create this big monstrous thing. And, you know, I don't know. My presumption would be that like Joey would come in here and then get fucked up by this. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So we've got this side here. This is probably what, like about halfway there now. I'm trying to avoid the attack. You saw we got hit there during that last the like arm break that we did there. It's good because I think you could probably generally take 2, maybe 3 hit. Like, okay, you could take 2 hits and not die. The 3rd hit, you probably would die. And I still think you might have to get a little bit lucky with that. I'm trying to position myself and like get an eye for where I would need to be to hit these bolts. So I think everything currently that has bolts, like everything currently that's up, these 3 arms, each have 2 bolts in them. So it should only be 3 more cycles. And looks like I'm on this side of it, so which is the correct side. All right, we'll bust it wide open while the DJ running back. Something else that I thought was kind of interesting too is like I quickly lost track of like all the shit that was breaking, if that makes any sense. Like you know, these are like roller coaster carts while they're on like these like spinning things, you know what I'm saying? And they just disappeared there. So I guess there's no big mystery to them after all. I need to be on the like the complete opposite side of where these bolts are to. There we go. I got that one done. Let me get off to an edge here so I don't accidentally die. Kind of interesting that there's no bacon soup around here. I sort of figured that there might be. Oh, and then we've got 2 more bolts to bust on this one, and that is the boss fight, if I can manage this one too. Coolio. And then you can see, we'll just like get to an area where he's like kind of looking at us or whatever. Well, he's always looking at us. His face tracks you, but like right here is a good spot for it. So for him anyway, that's like a final death, and the door shuts and down he goes. Our axe also broke on the final swing there. It's on the floor. That's unfortunate. Wish we could bring it with us, but I guess it's not in the cards. We can flip this switch over here. There we go. And that makes 3, so only 1 more to go. I thought this looked really cool. Like, that looks like an awesome... Like, are there any good, like, super good old Disney themed parks. Like, so Disneyland, clearly. And it's got, like, probably you can go on, like, a Lilo and Stitch ride and probably, like, I've never been to Disney World. I'd kind of like to take my niece there one day, if I ever had the money kind of saved back. And that's, like, my hope. I want to take my grandma to the beach, and I want to take my niece to Disney World. Like, my grandma before she gets too old, and because she said she wants to see the beach one more time before she dies, and I'd like to take my niece to Disney World because I think that's what you do for little kids. Even though I think it's corny, I don't really like Disney World. Little kids do, and I like that little kid anyway. She's getting ready to have a sister here soon, so then I'm gonna have two of those little rascals in my life. I'm grinning ear from ear, but I'm getting away from the point. Anyway, ride the Buddy Boris Railway. Oh, yes, this is where we have the projectionist back. I don't think this is the same projectionist. I kind of assumed that this is like a kind of like a race of things, that there could be like there's another one of these projectionists. It kind of reminds me of the enemy from Bioshock Infinite. I almost said Siren Head, like the whistleblower enemy, I think it's called. You can get away with just doing this whole area in one trip. Well, I might not be able to, actually, now that you have to outmaneuver that guy. We flipped the switch, and what you're kind of meant to do is to, like, run all the way back to that, like, little hidden compartment area. But what I'm going to do instead is run up these stairs where we just unlocked. We do kind of, like, I think we slightly outpace that guy. I don't know if we quickly outpace him, but I can't remember. Yeah, it does look like he's coming up the stairs, so he can run after us. Wow, and he is taking the hell a long way. I thought he was going to, like, cut us off, but nope. We flip that switch, and just like that, he disappears. Which is good for us. I saw another one of the tapes down under the, like, down the stairs and stuff. I thought I had seen it, so I want to pop that in case you guys want to read it. See what it says. All from Joey Drew. There's something special in all of us. Okay, let's stop it right there. I can only do so many takes of this trash a day. Oh my god. So you don't believe in the smell of your own shit, huh? Alright, so as we start to leave here, we're going to have another chase from the projectionist. It's going to be behind us, which gets denoted by, you can see, like, the flashing light behind us. I'm going to run into this thing here, and then there's, like, this really cool scripted cutscene where, like, the projectionist is like, wait a minute, I'm pretty sure there's somebody in there, and then Bendy's like, those ain't the rules, bitch, and then they start fighting. It's kind of a thing where, like, I was wondering, like, you know, was there ever a world in which the projectionist wins this? Like, what if there were 100 projectionists? And honestly, I still think Bendy's gonna squarely beat their ass, just because of the nature of kind of what he is and stuff. Oh my goodness. Can't blame that acid reflux on the bacon soup. So he, like, pulls him into this wall here and then disappears. And that is the fourth switch powered. That is the projectionist down. It is interesting because we never see another projectionist, so it does kind of make you think that there might only be one projectionist. I don't know if there's more. I don't even know if it's important. But so now we flip that, and I want to kind of get into a position where we can maybe watch this open. It's kind of eerie. You can see, like, the eyes moving back and forth a little bit. It looks sort of like Haunted House. Is that what that movie's called? I think that's the movie called The Haunted House or something, like just Haunted House, maybe. Turn back. We can ride on this machine. It's kind of like a roller coaster. You know what? Fuck it. Let's let this play out so you can hear it.
Come in and pretend it's all just a bad dream.
Okay, sorry about that. I thought she might say a little bit more. There's ghosts around. I'll handle it because she's going to come in intermittently and say nothing important, so I'll take over it. There's a big cutscene at the end of this chapter anyway, which we're coming up shortly after another boss fight, so there's this Disney cartoon, and I can't remember it for the life of me, but it used to scare the shit out of me. It's about, like, an old man, and I always took it to be like, oh, hey, it kind of looks like Boris, and then there's, like, a light on a little Boris doll. It's about, like, an old affluent man who lives in, like, a like some kind of a like expensive like manor, not like a manor, but like a castle, like a king in a castle, almost like with no people around, and for something about like ghosts are around there, and then they start sucking like sucking like what looks like his soul out of his body, but it's like a machine. And it's like doing all like the normal like Disney like playing like the music over and over again, and it's like real mechanical and the animation and stuff, and it's older, but like it drains this guy, and he like gets like emaciated. He's like a big fat king, and then he's like starving to death. Like he looks real thin, like rail thin, and I don't know, like that always like spooked me a lot as a kid, that they were like sucking the soul out of him. It's probably like the same way that people feel about if you ever watched Monsters Inc., there's like a scene where somebody gets like the scream sucked out of them. It's like a little like red creature thing in Monsters Inc. towards the end of the movie, and that's what that kind of reminds me of. So as we leave here, this has been kind of an uneventful roller coaster, but it makes up for it at the end, or not even a roller coaster, like just a little indoor ride, because there is Boris, and he is here now. What has she done to you? Damn, she sewed up his eyes, and he's evil now, and he's got the bigger rib cage, all the bigger to destroy you with, he says. All right. So I find the best way to kind of open up this area, because he does like a lot of like rhino bull charges. I want him to destroy like a lot of the environment. Like I do one loop around so that he'll like a bull charge through all this shit. We'll do, how about like one more clean one this way, leaning towards where this like fabricator is. Might actually get fucked here. Okay, no, I got lucky there. We need to swap this to something we can use. Oh, and he's been hurt. There's like a wrench thing. A wrench that we need to do. So now that we have like freed up that space, whenever he like hits a wall and he does like the spraying stuff, he'll spray a little bout of goop that we need to pick up, that we can put in the fabricator, and then we can hit him with a wrench. This is actually a pretty easy boss fight. There are like so many boss fights that this kind of fucking reminds me of. Oh yeah, we have to pull the crank, that's right. Or turn the crank. In Spider-Man for the PlayStation 1, there's a Rhino boss fight that acts a lot like this. Now, granted, you don't actually have to hit Rhino, so maybe it's more like a more modern Rhino boss fight, because the more modern ones, you actually have to, like, hit Rhino and shit. I was trying to get that goop that was on the floor there while I had about half an opportunity. The second phase is kind of more pain in the ass than the first, because he'll actually jump around, and one of that jumping around that he can do is, like, right on your head. I'll put that in, and I'll turn that. Yep, see, he does like a little shockwave attack. On the bright side, there's enough of a like time in between like when he does his little shockwave attack to when he does it, that it won't out and out kill you. Nice. So that'll force him into phase 3, and that should give me like enough time to recover my HP. Alright, so he's working his way over to where that roller coaster is, and then he'll throw it at us. I can't remember if we have to be within a certain like distance of him for him to like bleed out again. No. he fucked up his little throw animation there. He's supposed to like pick that up and then throw it at us. Maybe I'll back up a little bit so that we can actually see that, and hopefully like get him going through the motions he needs to there you go. Oh my goodness. Maybe I need to like interact. Oh no, there's another piece of goop on the floor. I don't know whatever caused that. They kind of just look like little piles of shit on the floor. Even if I am able to... Yep, there's that. And then we'll go shove this in Boris's gullet. This has a lot of dialogue, even bleeding into the next chapter, so I'm going to let all that play. It's one big cutscene. I'll be back here shortly.
I know that song.
Everyone knows that song. Who are you? Why are you here?
I was invited by an old friend. And now I can't leave.
Then you know more than we do. 1 minute, we don't even exist. Just thoughts. And the next minute, this place.
Are you gonna let me out of here?
Down here, strangers aren't good things. How can we trust you? We don't even know what you are.
My name is Henry. I used to work here.
I honestly don't know my name. So, they call me Alice. But I'm no angel. You go back and rest. We'll talk again later. It's only for a few hours. No need to worry. I won't go far. Only up to level 6. Just stay here. Keep an eye on Henry, okay? I'll be back as soon as I can. I promise. Henry? Here, you must be hungry. Sorry, it's all we have. I know you're watching me. It's just a little creepy.
You're the one that writes on the walls.
We all do. For some poor souls down here, it's the only way they can be heard. But you don't want to touch the ink for too long. It can claim you, pull you back. That's how I met Tom. I was messing with things I shouldn't have been, and he was there.
Why do you call him Tom?
He just seems to respond to it.
Well, I don't think he's very fond of me.
Let me show you something. A while back, I was mapping out one of the upper levels when I noticed something reflecting off a piece of glass. I held up the glass, looked through, and on the wall behind me was a hidden message. Right there, in plain sight. So I kept looking and found more and more messages everywhere in the studio. But you can't see them with your eyes. Only through this. Take a look. I don't know who's leaving them, but I think they know how to get out of here.
Where does it all lead to?
Nowhere. I followed them for a long time. Just leads me in circles. I don't think I meant to leave this place, Henry. But maybe you are.
Alice, please let me out of here.
Tom thinks you're dangerous.
And what do you think?
I think you're the hope I've been waiting for. Go to sleep. Maybe tomorrow will be better. That was really stupid, Tom. You shouldn't have gone out there. Now that he's seen you, it's only a matter of time before he finds us here. We can't just leave him. Not with the ink demon right outside the door.
What's going on?
He's coming. We have to move on. Tom! We have to let him out. I'm sorry.
Sorry about that. I got a fucking notification in the middle of that from like the news on my phone. And it said Jim Carrey death hoax. And I was like, is Jim Carrey dead? And I had to look it up. It's inside the vault. Let me out of here. So many questions. Don't go through the door. What door? Escape. A lot of information, but it's all directing us towards take the spoon. It also has some like stuff about like a cycle there. It's all sort of important. Look inside. You'll need this. So this is kind of reminds me of the first Saw movie a little bit. Alice there, the actual angel Alice, but more like demon. She was like writing all this stuff on the wall. Choose to be happy. That's very, this is all very sweet. Oh shit, and they had an aquarium here. I don't know that I ever saw this the last time I played. Cool. And then they have like, beds there so that they can like chill out. This is like their little hideout. Now, of course, Bendy is on his way here the whole time that we're just yapping. And Alice and Tom have made their way, or are making their way out of here as quick as they can. Yep, there's a monster to our right. I don't know. The monsters kind of come as an afterthought a little bit to me. Maybe they're done a little bit better and like over the next games and stuff, but I'm kind of interested to see, because Boris and the something or other and the ink machine or some shit, it's like the game that comes after this that's not a full game. Yep, they take off in their like little like a motorboat looking thing. Launch the barge. I guess that's what it is a barge. Fuck. Oh, I'm interested to see like how that game handles any parts of being a game, because it's supposed to be like not randomly generated, but well, I guess it is randomly generated, but like not like roguelike either. I can't think of the word where it's like all kind of generated in real time and it all happens like as you're like it's all generated as you play it or whatever. So I guess it is kind of like roguelike, but it doesn't have like playing through the game again elements, like where you get stronger every time. I don't think so, from what I'm aware of the game. And then the next game after this, like, so there's this game, there's that Boris game I just talked about, and then there's Bendy and the Dark Revival. Whenever I initially got that game, I thought for sure that this was a... so there's their boat, and they parked over there. Unclog the paddle wheel. Use the gent pipe. So we have to knock the paddle wheel loose. There is a big-ass hand tearing down that other boat. So we want to get things in gear here. This is about like a half cool segment. It's not, it's honestly like kind of like nerve wracking, but it's too repetitive to, I don't know. It's like the same thing every time. So like it doesn't ever like instill fear the way it probably should. But like if it is your first time doing this, or like you don't understand what you're doing, like this can come off as like really scary. But on subsequent playthroughs, like this has just been, because like the same thing is going to happen. I'm going to have to knock 3 of those things loose. The hand's going to get a little bit closer to me, and I'm just going to push the paddle boat forward. That's the name I was thinking of, this paddle boat. I thought Bendy and the Dark Revival was a remake of this game. And honestly, whenever I first heard it, I was like, that's kind of embarrassing that they're already remaking this game. Like, are they really just going to like keep making that same game over and over again? And I kept getting like little things that are like, oh god, he's actually getting kind of close there. I kept getting these like little things that are like, Bendy and the Dark Arrival, like secret ending or something like that. And I was like, so I'm gonna have to play the new revamped version to get the secret ending for like, you know, my audience and stuff. Like, that's lame. And then you have all these collectibles in it to do too. I'm like, oh, that's gonna be a fucking pain. So, but then I start reading about it and I'm like, oh no, this is like literally like a whole ass sequel, like another game that's coming out. So I don't know. I have like half an interest in Poppy's Playtime. I don't know if I'll ever play it on the channel though, because that one does feel a little bit like selling out a little bit. Wow, I'm looking at this on my other monitor, and holy fuck, this footage like looks really, really good. The only thing I didn't do on this one was there's like film grain that is an option that you could turn on. I think it honestly looks better without the film grain, but as I just talked about in a couple Left 4 Dead playthroughs, I was like, like film grain like does make it look better. And I also did it in Reanimal where I left the film grain on accidentally, and I mean, they look alright or whatever. You see, this is like a segment that goes on just like a little bit too long, or like they should have varied it up because it's the same shit every time. You just hold the lever forward and then you just keep knocking the bits out behind you, and it's always like 3 bits every time. It's not like 2 sometimes, like a really clogged up one with like 8 at the last time. They like vary the hand behind you. Nope, it's just every time the hand slowly wafts towards you, and you have 3 things that you have to knock off every time that it gets stuck. So, but anyway, we made it to wherever it is that we were trying to go. I do think that, well, I can't actually remember. Oh, the board just broke behind us, I heard. There's a bendy thing here. We can also like use this in places now. Sometimes it's interesting, sometimes not. You bring death, and the O is like a skull. Creepy. Once people now fallen into despair. Jesus, I was all over the place on that one. So we can try to open this. This has that Sammy character in it. The guy that we saw way up higher. He is like telling us that like he trusted us, which I think is some horse shit. If I'm remembering correctly, he tried to kill us. So I'm going to let my HP sort of refill here as I kind of run away from Sammy. There we are. We're back up. And I don't know. This guy is not like a difficult... Jesus, God. Watch him wax me here. Oh, I am like 1 hit away. I see like all kinds of... Our screen looks dirty as shit. At least it's only going to take 1 more round of this. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel bad for this guy. He tried to offer us up, and then he's talking all this horse shit about how we betrayed him. Like, nah, I'm good. He tells us not to look at him and to stay away. And we'll walk up on him, and then we'll have like a half a cutscene here I'll let play through once again. We have to like kind of get up to him and...
You lied to me. You said I'd be free. Well, I'm going to free you now. Free your head right off your shoulders. Sheep, sheep, sheep. It's time for sleep.
That was close. You're lucky we were in the neighborhood.
Was that him?
I don't think so. The Searchers and the Lost Ones built this place. Sammy must have been keeping them at bay, now that he's gone. Looks like we're in for a fight. Get ready.
Alright, so here we are. We've got like a big like fight coming up. It's not bad, it really isn't, but like, I don't know, it's not too exciting either. I'll say this, I'll give it to him, like being able to have an AI that can kind of fight these things a little bit. Tom and Alice are going to be fighting at the same time that we are. They can kill monsters, they can, I don't know, sometimes like take them off your tail a little bit. Like, they don't do anything involved. There's like no sick bar fight moments or anything, but at the same time, like, you know, you work together. Tom, he tried to kill us once before, or he didn't try to kill us, but he left us for dead, which is a point against him. Jesus, they are really sweating these guys in the middle. He left us for dead, and then he saves us there from that Sammy character. So I'm gonna call us even, chill. I'm ready to be chill with the new Boris, aka Tom. It's not our Boris, but he's cool. He's got a lot of personality to him. I like that he's like not vindictive, like angry. Well, I guess he is vindictive if you like judge the cutscenes that we had there, where like he wasn't even letting us eat our shitty ass bacon soup. He was just like taking it from us. He did not like us, but at least we all seem to be relatively on the same page now. There are like some of these minor I think they call them like scavengers or lost ones or something like that. I don't know. Also don't know how we're not all on the same side if they're like making houses like this and shit. Like, just chill out, guys. Like, we can all be together against this ink demon, or maybe this is some spawns of the ink demon. I don't know. What? Oh yeah, I had to look at that Jim Carrey hoax because I was like, no fucking way, Jim Carrey died. It was like. It was like some kind of picture that was like, today's news, World War III is about to start and Jim Carrey is dead. And I was like, no, what? And I had to like look it up. I was like horrified during the last few minutes of that cutscene. All right, so we're moving along. Can I see anything with this? Okay, we're moving along here. As we continue on, the board snaps underneath of us and we are now here. It's inside the vault, so we're going to have to get into wherever this vault is. To get something or other. Administration, and there is some music kind of listlessly playing. Guess we'll go over here first, see our kind of problem. There's like these pieces that we need for this. We need a curve, we need a straight line, and a try. This is the film vault. We can't get into here because it's got like ink inside of it. There is a bendy machine that will respawn us. I don't think there's anything around. It's a shame that there's no weapons or anything. This is like some kind of a worker for... I believe this is like a mechanic for the ink machine. He might even be in the comics too. So I think there's like comics about this game. If not, it's like a visual book. So that's a quad. We need a straight line, we need a curve, and then we need a try. All right. And there should be, oh yeah, a lever that we can hit here, which opens the administration over there. And that is where we head to next. So this area here, you can kind of play it as squirrely as you want to. It's got the butcher gang in it again. Me personally, so what you're aiming for is on the complete opposite side of this area, like a complete circle around. I find it best to just, like, if you run into an enemy, which we're invariably going to do because it's just the nature of the strategy, just don't sweat it. Just kind of like sidestep them and continue on. Like, there comes an enemy there. We're just going to sidestep them. Even if we get hit, it's like not the end of the world. We could probably keep sidestepping them. We're aiming for this little dispenser of ink. We've got... Oh, I just went down. I did not expect that. We'll see whenever I come out of this if I still have the ink in my hand. If I don't, I'll grab a hunk of ink and I'll be back. Because you guys shouldn't have to see that because of my dumbass. I just got caught up there. Hey, I do actually have the ink. Well, it might have behooved me to die during those segments. Just kidding, of course. I don't want to make you see that. All right, so we'll twist this. Hopefully that saved our preset. And then as soon as that's done, yep, we'll do the curved pipe next. Oh, there's the ink demon's kind of domain around us. We'll crawl inside of here and we'll wait for him to come a-thumping through. I wonder if he's on our left because it kind of seems like... Well, it sounds like he's on our right, but like the darkness kind of looks to the left a little bit. I don't know. Might be like really far to our right. Well, whatever it was really short-lived. So anyway, I'm just going to go in here and get the other couple pieces that we need. I'll show you the path on this other side here. Sometimes like rare, like, you know, in some of these areas, there's like these recordings that you can listen to and stuff. I don't know. How many times can you hear somebody be like, "Oh, it's creepy," or like, "Oh, Joey's not as good as, you know, you thought he was," or whatever, or I don't know. I'm just like kind of not... I'm not unimpressed by this because it's like a cool game, and I'm also looking at it from a lens of like, almost like being like, yeah, Flash games were actually bad. It's like... You know, this game came out in, what was it, like 2018, maybe a little bit later than that, like the whole thing. I can't fucking remember. But, like, you know, it's good for the time that it came out, and I'm not really, like, sweating it too much in that regard, but there's like some... I'm kind of surprised that they went with some of the gameplay elements that they did explicitly. In, like, storytelling, the storytelling that's done throughout any time that is not immediately this game is really good, so... All right, I let them kind of do their thing there. I'm going to twist this or crank, I guess. And so we've got a straight line, we've got a curve, and now we need to try. All right. And I'm going to probably just run past these guys and do the same thing that I just did before. You know what? I'm going to let them go that way because I can probably outspeed them to the where that ink outlet is. And then it's got like, this area is just doing too much by my estimation. It's got like little slits where you can like see those guys creep around and stuff, but like who's really trying to do all that? I don't know. It's the same way that I felt sort of about like Outlast. Like horror games are suddenly not nearly that scary whenever you realize that you can outrun the monster. And that's almost like, I would say like 9 times out of 10, because even in Outlast itself, I'm pretty sure that that's not always true. But like I was playing Outlast and that game scared the shit out of me, but all of a sudden I noticed, because I kept getting like caught in this one area and I'm like, oh, I'm dead. I like noticed that like you're always going to be outrunning the monster. Like that's just the nature of game design. And so like here, you know, I'm outrunning these like little butcher cretins, the butcher gang cretins, and I don't know. They're not like, why should I do all that hiding? Even if I die, this game is like so forgiving. I can just like hide. I also I was like looking up this game to see, what was I looking for? The wiki? Yeah, maybe I was looking up the wiki, but it sent me to like not like a download page, but like, you know how like if you Google something and you're on mobile and you're on a Samsung device, it'll tell you, like, you know, check out this on the App Store. It looked like I could get Bendy and the Ink Machine on the fucking App Store. Like, what's this doing on mobile? Really? I don't know. I also kind of wonder, as like a developer, like the Meatly, he initially did this game because he like had the premise, which is the game, which is like, what if there was like a 2D character in a 3D world? And so you look at that almost like, you know, sort of in your mind, maybe you're like, what if Bugs Bunny was in the world? Like, that's the way I kind of immediately interpret that. Like, you know, a guy who's just kind of goofy and stuff, or maybe a little bit more like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit or something like that. So we go to open this. It is empty. Whatever was in here was taken long ago. And then the demon has taken it, and the O has like little horns on it. It's kind of cool because Alice Angel, this one actually has a halo over her head. That's kind of cool. So we have to track the ink demon and get this whatever from him. And she's like, you want to go to his lair? You're crazy. And I think we're going to have to go through this area. It's probably close by. So she's telling us we don't have to go through another 5 chapters of this just to make it to the demon's lair, which is good. She's like, okay, I can get us through here. I need 3 gears, a crowbar, a counterbalance. But thank God, Tom, you just got another point in my book. I owe you in a big way. We start walking through this area that kind of looks similar to the intro area a little bit, like the chapter 1 area. Like that looks like our desk. But then you get over to this side and it doesn't quite look like the area from before. You can see the ink demon over here. You can't like aggro him or anything like that. You can't like irritate him. The other characters don't say anything about him other than to be quiet. Death this way. I don't think I see. Yeah, I can't use this for anything else. We probably got a cutscene here. I guess I'll let play through. Oh, it looks like that's the ink machine. Whoa, creepy.
Wow. I've never seen this before. I don't see any way around. Nothing to build a raft with.
We'll have to wade across.
We can't. We're not like you, Henry. If we go in there, well, a drop of water in the ocean is rarely seen again.
And I guess it's all up to me. And I don't even know what I'm doing here. I don't even know why this is all happening to me.
You're here for a reason, Henry. There's always a reason. Even when you can't understand it. It's time. Set us free.
All right, cool. So they're going to have to stick over here because if they like step foot in this ink, they will like dissolve in it as a character made of the ink or whatever. I don't know. I guess it about half makes sense. And he's like, they could have at least given me a weapon. Hey, I only got one weapon in my mind I want to face the demon with, and we do not have it. Our ex-dead girlfriend has it. There was something else. Yeah, I still remember my name. This is the only one of these things that actually says anything. Sometimes they're empty. Sometimes they have like these creatures inside of them. I don't really get like what's going on here. Like this kind of seems like a birthplace though, maybe for like creatures. And so it makes sense why we have like, you know, this is the demon's lair that we're coming up on. Lots of like bendy animations around. This was probably so cool to like, you know, you like animate one of these as like the creator of the game and you're like, okay, I'm gonna put that one there and I'm gonna put that one there. Like, oh man, just like the creative process. I believe we listened to this.
It's simply awe-inspiring what one can accomplish with their own hands. A lump of clay can turn to meaning if you strangle it with enough enthusiasm. Look what we've built. We created life itself, Henry. Not just on a silver screen, but in the hearts of those we entertain with our fancy moving pictures. But when the tickets stopped selling, when the next big thing came along, only the monsters remained. Shadows of the past. But you can save them, Henry. You can peel it all away. You see, there's only one thing Bendy has never known. He was there for his beginning, but he's never seen the end.
The end.
Alright, so there comes Bendy, the monster Bendy, and we have the end reel here. It's a little bit metaphoric, and we'll understand it a little bit more once we actually, you know, complete this like cutscene and this little sequence that we're gonna do and stuff. It's not. I think it's cool. It's whatever. So he transforms, Bendy does, into a great big old fucking monster with great big old teeth. Oh my god, look how imposing that is. And then he smacks us and we go clean through the wall. Thankfully getting a little ways away from him, and he starts his little like chase joint. So this is actually made worlds easier by like using this. I will probably just randomly get waxed by Bendy. It's just kind of the nature of the thing. But he goes through these walls. As long as you like hug the walls, you'll avoid him. But like he charges, you know, like you just probably saw him charge out there. Trying to, yeah, like there he comes down charging. As long as you're not in his way, you'll be like fine. There's another switch. I think there's 4 that I have to hit in total. And this is considered like, you know, part of like the boss fight with Bendy or whatever. This is like Bendy's big boss fight. There's another switch I can hit here. And then I think there's another one in the corner there. Okay, whew, I just didn't want to get nailed by him at the last second. And I think that's all of them. It's kind of a shame that the like things don't dissolve whenever you flip them. I'm assuming that that's all of them. I'm going to just, you know, go through this area here just to make sure. Yeah, and then we flipped all those over there. I'm going to assume that we actually got all of them. We'll be able to tell whenever we go and look down this hallway here in just a second. It's not hard to avoid Bendy in that little area that we were just in. Again, just keep hugging the walls. It's really forgiving. Kind of sounded like, yeah, he was like right behind us, but it you know, whatever. Now, I wonder if the Meatly, the guy who made this game, like the guy whose name I know anyway, him and his partner, if they kind of worked themselves into a shoe on this. Like, you know, I haven't ever heard of them wanting to make something else that isn't like Bendy games. So, you know, are you just kind of stuck on this shit now? Who's laughing now? And then we like go for that door, but we have to twist this valve here to, you know, continue on. So it lights up these 4 things, like those 4 dots, which just means that we have to have him break these 4 things here. This reminds me of a boss fight for Conker's Bad Fur Day for the N64. It's so weird because this is now like the 3rd or the 4th time I've mentioned like Conker's Bad Fur Day in a playthrough, which is crazy. That's like 5% of my playthroughs that I've mentioned Conker's Bad Fur Day in. We should be... Nope, he missed that one. That's okay. This is a really short-lived boss fight, honestly. It's kind of imposing, but it's also like a wham bam thank you ma'am, like real quick in and out. Oh, he is still right up my ass. I want him to charge this. There we are. And then if we're quick enough, we can get him to double charge this one. Yep, we should be good. All right, and then it turns all dark. I can turn on my little light here, but like you still can't see Bendy. He just disappears. And then we go back to his throne, which is located over here. And here we have like the reel, and we plug it in there. This actually isn't the cutscene that I want to have you guys listen to just yet, so I can talk about it, this with you. So it's kind of weird. I can talk about the story now. The game, it's so weird how you wouldn't know this without like the supplementary materials, but like this game takes place in like cycles, right? There's like a beginning and an end to every cycle, and for as long as the cycle has ever existed, as far as I'm aware, Bendy has been like over it, like that character, and it's like a monster. Bendy was born because a Bendy, like a 2D drawing, was put into like the ink machine, and it birthed him. And then that's the same way like the Alice was born, or the Alices, I guess at this point. We're in some kind of like a weird apartment. I'm just going to kind of like meander about here for a second. It's weird. There's like bars on the... Oh no, those ain't bars. That's like weird kind of cloth formation. We don't have any of our tools and stuff from before. An empty bathroom. And this is probably the more interesting part. There's like this pegboard that like has all kinds of information on it. This one is like a letter from somebody who's like, wow, I used to just clean floors at your place, and you're like sending me like a letter wishing me well, like, oh, those were the good times. I'm sorry to hear that your company went under. And then you can see like filed Eastern District of U.S. Bankruptcy Court, an overdue notice. I believe these are like, doctor's appointments, like meetings he has to make and stuff. Phil 203. This is another one that's like, wow, I haven't talked to you in forever, Joey. Like, I do movies now. I hope you're doing well. So these are probably all people that he has also written to, this Joey character. And, like we're probably the first person to ever make the trip out to see him, like that note that we got at the very beginning. It's kind of crazy. You can see like a darker looking Bendy here. And, yeah. All right. I'm going to let this play out. It's not very long.
Henry, so soon. I didn't expect you for another hour yet. Now you're just trying to impress me. But I know. You have questions. You always do. The only important question is this. Who are we, Henry? I thought I knew who I was. But the success starved me. Nothing left but lines on a page. In the end, we followed two different roads of our own making. You, a lovely family. Me, a crooked empire. And my road burned. I let our creations become my life. The truth is, you were always so good at pushing, old friend. Pushing me to do the right thing. You should have pushed a little harder. Henry, come visit the old workshop. There's something I need to show you.
All right, Joey. I'm here. Let's see if we can find what you wanted me to see.
All right, and so the cycle begins again. How creepy, right? So we do have like a post-credit scene, so we can talk about the story and stuff a little bit. So they create this monster, and then like, the studio just doesn't do well. Joey is like a character that, is evil at the end of things and stuff. Like he's not like always good. And somehow, through some way or another, he's able to like, or maybe not even intentionally, but like once you visit the workshop or something like that, you're put into this like alternate world that's called like the cycle. And you can tell if you're in the cycle because it's sepia toned, like it's got like the yellow film over it and stuff, like where everything looks yellow. And so there at the end of the game with the Joey, you could tell we were not in the cycle yet. That's like that is something that probably predates the cycle, that August 25th, and therefore like we're not in the cycle because it's not in sepia tone. And then whenever we open that door, like the cycle restarts again. You can see here, there's the ink machine in that room there in the back. It looks a little different here, a little smaller. And then we've got a note here from Henry Stein. Congratulations on your success. Your best pal, Henry Stein. And then a little kid says like something here, but there's no closed caption, so you won't be able to hear anything. Says, tell me another one, Uncle Joey. So anyway, that has been that. I'm trying to end the credits here without like, fucking anything up. Okay, so we unlocked the seeing tool in all previous chapters. We also unlocked the archives bonus content. So the first thing I want to demonstrate is the using the seeing tool in other levels. So we had the seeing tool at the very end. Let's see. Yeah, at the very end there in that last chapter. And we could use it in some places. And Alice had said that in other places you could also use it. One of those places that you can use it is throughout the game. Why is it not loading anything? It's got me very worried. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, so the game crashed, and I was ready to be like, all right, fuck it, I'm not going to show off all this extra stuff. I'll just wrap it up. But there are a lot of save files online. It's actually not that hard to plug a save file into this. So I select the new chapter, or the game there. I'm going to, I think continue will continue us from chapter 1. Like this is like starting a brand new game. Like this is just beating the game. And so it should throw us, chapter 1, moving pictures. So this game is like all cyclical. Like everything that you experience is supposed to be like all cyclical. It's so funny. The arrow points you out of here like you can actually get out, turn back, and then a bunch of marks clearly indicating like how many times this guy has been through this. So like if you came through with this, you would just like mark it and you'd be like, son of a bitch, I'm back on it. I'm sorry, buddy. Supposedly this is like, what do we got? We got, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50-ish. Not quite right on 50. And then if you consider that 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400. So about 422 times he's been through it, not counting this one. Like, that's not how many the guy did before me. Like, this all looks the same no matter how many times you come through it. Don't turn on the machine, and then, like, you can see those. Like, this has a lot of messages here at the beginning here. Oh, and then a lot more on this wall here. Whatever. So he has been through this a lot. So anyway, that's like the kind of idea of the story and stuff of this game is like, God damn it, I didn't mean to load back into it. We can talk about the story anyway. I want to go to the archives, which is unlocked whenever we beat the game. But anyway, what I was saying was like, this is all like cyclical. Like you're stuck in this cycle. Later games, like somebody else is in charge of the cycle besides Bendy. And I think it's because some guy bought the ink machine. I don't know. I haven't seen it. It's above my pay grade. I'll probably eventually play it like way off in the future. I just kind of was in the mood for this game right now. You can see here, this is like a note from the developer. They're like, oh, I started working on this, and I had an idea of bringing a sketch 2D style into a 3D world. Then they wanted to turn it into a horror idea. Chapter 1 was created in a little under a week with a programmer friend who's the other guy credited at this game. And he's like saying like, I didn't never expect it to take off, but hey, here we are. This is what the ink machine looked like originally. I said that I thought that the tube on this thing looked like a little small. That's why I like the new one so much better. It like looks more, I don't know, it looks better. So this is how it looked like in the, I believe this is the alpha or beta or something. I'll probably fuck it up somewhere along the way. Let's just go around. This is Henry Steen. This is the character we play as. They were equal business partners with Joey Drew, and then whatever, they decided to have a family. You get an achievement if you stand on this because you are your own character model. This is Concept Bendy. This is how he looked like at first. It's so funny. If this was a wax museum, I'd get a picture with my head in this thing. This is the actual version of Bendy that I really liked whenever I first played this game, because this is whenever I played it was in the alpha. I really liked just like the look of this a little bit. Like he just kind of looked goopy and close to the floor and stuff. Then this is what he looked like in beta. He doesn't look as imposing quite. Then here, like he gets like a lot more imposing. Like even with the smile, he looks like deadly. When in comparison to this one where he just kind of looks like, I don't know, whatever. This is the Beast Bendy. Final form in Chapter 5 pulled away the cartoon facade and revealed the demon within. So yeah, it looks really spooky. You can also see like some drawings on the background, like there's Sammy Lawrence. I hope I was calling him Sammy. I feel like I might have been calling him something else now. This is what searchers looked like in the beta. I remember thinking these looked so much creepier back then. The new ones are whatever, but like I'm not whatever. This is what they look like now. And I don't remember ever seeing them that high, but this is what Beta Sammy looked like. He was a lot thinner than, before. Like, he kind of looks like the way Boris does a little bit. And then here he actually looks like even a little bit taller and like more imposing and buff. And his, what do they call it? Like, suspenders fit a little bit better over him because of it. This is like one of the loss or whatever. Oh, hey, we can see what I thought looked like a beard. There's just some goop coming off the chin. There are either of the angels up there. I don't have access to my, like the seeing glass. So, this is that guy's face, Bernard or whatever. This is the butcher gang. I'll see if it says anything interesting. The Piper, Striker, and Fisher made up the deadly butcher gang. Interestingly, the ink-corrupted versions of the characters were designed first and then were reverse engineered back into their more family-friendly cartoon form. So it looks like they did the fucked up side of things first and then made them look normal afterwards, which is kind of cool. Here you can get a look at either of the Alices. I mean, they look fine. They look good. Not bad. I'm not trying to imply they're bad. This is, of course, Tom, I think it is. Let's see. We got Beta Boris. It's funny. I don't ever remember him looking like this, but you remember like the first time we see Boris with his chest flayed open at chapter 1. I do remember him looking like this there, but not at the end there with the cutscene and stuff. I don't know. This is Boris the Wolf. This is like the normal him. The other one was like Tom. And then we have Brute Boris. Alice took parts from within him and substituted things that his body is rapidly rejecting. Meaning what exactly? Well, I'm not so certain. I can't really tell what that is in his body. I also don't know what's up with like the like dentist looking thing on the head, like the not even brace retainer. I don't even know what you call them. But anyway, you can look on the roof, Bendy and the ink machine, and then she's quite a gal, and all the like concept art on the walls and stuff. This was inspired by like something that Bioshock had also did, which was like a museum of all the characters. It was pretty cool. And this game's cool too. I'm glad I finally sat down and played it. Like I say, I only play the good games. This is a good game, not a great story. I don't know. I'm just kind of over like the cyclical stories a little bit. Like I don't know. Especially whenever you can't break free of them within the confines of the game. At least you can do something kind of cool, like in the loops, kind of like how I can't think of the Stanley Parable did a little bit, like in that the things that you're doing are kind of unique, at least in your iteration of it. But instead, we're just doing the same thing we always have done. This is kind of cool. This is like the ink machine, and then the stairs too. Even though we didn't have stairs in game to the Demon's Lair. But anyway, I think that's been about enough of Bendy and the Ink Machine. I might play the Dark Revival in the future, but the thing about playing the Dark Revival is I'd probably eventually also have to play the other Boris game, and I don't know that I want to do that. I think it's top down, isn't it? I don't know. We'll see what happens. That's far off in the future, though, because I have had my fill of Bendy for now. I talked about like kind of how I felt about it and stuff throughout the whole game, so I'm sure it's no mystery. It's a good game. All right, I'll see you guys all next week. Later.